I want to play video games. Moose is in the house. Moose is in the house. Watch out. Watch out. Here's Moosey.
Hey all, how's it going? Oh, almost did a hallway reveal. We can't be having that. Hope you're all doing blah 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 blah. Let me try that again. I haven't done much talking today. Also, this is like super loose. What the fuck? I haven't changed my the tension on this in like 3 years. I guess that's not true. I took it off a couple months ago, but I haven't changed it in at least a couple of months, and it's just gone. Like, I don't know why it's so goofy right now. Anyway, welcome. Hope you're doing fantastic. I gotta make sure I'm even on the right mic settings. I don't think I am. So my mic probably sounds a little bit strange, or a little bit different than you're used to, at least. But yeah, how was everyone's weekend? Mine was quite eventful. It was kind of funny. So I went to this Twitch Fan Expo is in Toronto this weekend, and I have no interest in that. As much as it's like my life is a big chunk of my life revolves around video games, I just simply don't care about nerd culture like at all. Like, you'll never catch me at one. I went 1 year. And this is a true story. We went 1 year because we got free tickets, and I think one of my friends was a vendor. So yeah, I basically went with Tiana just to go say hi to my friend. Okay, before I continue this, thank you, Fenric. Thank you, Comrade Bob. Thank you, Fake Life. Thank you, Beastump. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for supporting the channel always. You know, means a lot. But there was like an after hours thing. I think the reason we went is that Prozac was playing, and we are like, it'd be pretty funny to see Prozac. If you guys don't know what Prozac is, it was a cartoon band a la the Gorillaz, before the Gorillaz, but Canadian, and they did like pop, like kind of like rave adjacent pop. I don't know. It was fun though. And Elijah Wood was doing like a DJ set, and so the whole conceit of my visit to Fan Expo the one time I went was because I thought it'd be really funny to get a picture with Elijah Wood, even though by that point we didn't really look like each other at all, and to see Prozac, and that was about it. But the true story is a random guy came up to me and would not stop like bragging to his friends about how I am the great Moosebones, pro Olimar player for Smash 4, which is fucking crazy. Because, one, I was never, like, that good. I was, like, good regionally, but I wasn't, like... I wasn't known outside of my region. And, two, I was known for Bowser Jr. Like, I played Bowser Jr. almost exclusively, and then in, like, the last couple of weeks before, like, this happened, I started playing Olimar. And so he came up to me, and he was making a huge fucking deal of it as if I was a... I don't know, like I was an actual personality or something. I was like barely on stream at that point in terms of like, I wasn't doing much commentary. It was so jarring and so bewildering. And he was like nervous to like ask for a picture and like all this shit. And the entire time I thought, this dude's making fun of me. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I don't know what this is. And then after he like calmed down, he's like, I play Olimar too, and like I watch every time you're on stream and this and that, and I'm like, this is still crazy, dude. Like, you're earnest and like that's nice, but you gotta relax a little bit. And Tiana's just standing there like, I know he's not that good. Like, I don't know why this guy is like losing his mind over Nash. Like, I've seen him play, he's not that good. And then how does it feel to make it big? You know. Speaking of making it big, this all loops into the story I'm telling now, where Fan Expo happened this weekend. I don't give a shit about it. It's not that I'm too cool or disaffected. It's just it's simply not my scene. There was an after party, and the after party was at this bar, and Twitch held an invite-only party in like the upstairs of that bar for Twitch partners only. so there's a lot of people there. I have a feeling only about half of them were actual Twitch partners, and the rest were just like plus ones or whatever. But so there was a Twitch partners only party, and I went in, and you know, I'm not intimidated by things like this, but like I don't know what I have in common with these kinds of people, right? Like I have my Twitch partnership almost by luck, nothing else. And like I don't give a shit about like schmoozing or like anything. It's, you know, I don't need to be a dick. I don't need to like be an asshole to these people. I can go in, I can be friendly, I can like, you know, make new friends or whatever. But I could not care less about the vibe of like, you know, here's my business card or whatever, right? And so, you know, I was keeping to myself mostly. There's free drinks. It was open bar. And then they had like a Q&A session with someone from Twitch who like works at Twitch, and they do like health and safety stuff. So they're like in charge of like moderation and things like that. You know, making it like a healthy space for people so they don't get harassed and whatever. You can, you know, it's a thankless job, but also I feel like not a lot of work is actually being done there. I feel like you don't need a full team for that based on the policies they have in place. But, you know, I'm not going to like get angry at this lady. I'm not going to like make a big thing out of it. And so she was answering some questions and this and that, like canned questions and like, oh, what's next for Twitch health and safety? Like anybody fucking cares, man. But then there was a Q&A period, and the Q&A was filled with like a lot of like kind of, I don't want to say moronic questions, but just like people who like couldn't read the room. And it was like people who were like, how come affiliates can't get front page on Twitch? Which is like nothing, like that's a different department entirely. And then people talking about like, my account was banned, can you unban my account, whatever? And it's like, this is like so funny. And this one dude who's like super drunk, got up and started just like monologuing about how hard it is to like be a streamer and like keep your audience and this and that. He didn't really have a question. He spoke for like, I want to say like 6 or 7 minutes straight. And they didn't take the mic away from him or anything. And I'm just like, I'm cracking up. This is the funniest shit in the world to me, because I got to deal with this shit at work all the time. And now to be like in the audience and it's not my responsibility to like control the mic, very, very funny. But then I asked a question, because I did have a couple of questions that were answered by the canned Q&A. So I was like, okay, appreciate that. Thank you for doing this. And then I'm like, I'm going to lighten the mood, because there's just like 3 or 4 just like fucking awful bummer questions in a row, where it's just like people taking out their frustrations, not taking out their frustrations on this lady, but just like whining or like whatever, right? And so I was like, how is it decided that writing I'm 13 instantly bans your account with no recourse? Like, it's kind of like a joke, kind of like a throwaway. But then like I had a follow-up. And so her response was deadly serious, and basically said that it is unreasonable for me to expect 13-year-olds to be on Twitch, and there needs to be deadlines or like cutoffs. And not only that, it's illegal in certain countries to have a chat function on a website if there are people that are younger than 13, and they take it very seriously, and pedophilia is no joke. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? Like, all right, like, you read a lot into my question that was like a joke. So I'm like, okay, I can salvage this. I can make this like a legitimate question, because she has no sense of humor and I don't want to seem like an insane person. So my follow-up was, for blanket statements like that get you banned. Also, this is like actually real. Do not test it in chat. You will get banned. If you write I'm 13 or I'm 12 years old or whatever, your account will instantly be banned. You will probably not get your account back. This is not me goading you into it. This is me telling you seriously, this is like, will actually fuck up your account forever. But because not everybody is as nice as me, my follow-up question was, when you have these like really sweeping blanket like auto ban trigger words like I'm 13, or like you write that, your account is just gone. should there not be some sort of recourse for people who are trolled or like goaded into writing that? Like, say you're in a competition or whatever, and you're contestant number 13, and someone asks you in an attempt to get you banned, hey, what number are you? And then you respond, oh, I'm 13 or whatever, right? Like, there's so many scenarios where this type of like extremely strict ban can be used by bad actors to like target people and bully them or whatever, right? And this happens for two reasons. The first one is there's no sort of there's no clarity on like what these phrases are that will get you banned. And I think there's reasons for and against why this might be the case. If you know exactly what is bannable, then you're going to say things that are similar but like not, so it doesn't get caught by the mod or whatever. But the big issue with it is, I think if you have these kind of statements where it's like, if you write this in, your account gets locked, you need to have more people, like actual people on the other side who are like looking at every single one of these people who get banned and filtering out the people who are like, hey, like, I don't know what happened. I just wrote this. I don't know like what the deal is. Here's some context. Would they unban if they think you're appropriate age? There's so many stories of people who don't get unbanned because of this. Like, it locks their account. They have zero tolerance for it. And so that was basically the gist of my follow-up, was like, I feel like zero tolerance for this type of thing is kind of insane because it's just a robot that is banning these people. And you probably need more people on the back end if you're going to implement these type of triggers to like be able to weed out people who have been bullied into saying it or whatever, right? Because you're the health and safety people. You ostensibly care about this kind of thing. You ostensibly care about people being targeted on your website, whether or not they're underage. Like, right? And the follow-up was basically like, yeah, I can't tell you why we do things the way we do them. But you know, we take it very seriously that there are no minors on the website under 13. And it was just like, all right, cool, lady. Like, whatever. Like, fuck you too then, I guess. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I was like the first person with like an actual question that wasn't just like, how come I'm not popular on Twitch? And I was like legitimately embarrassed because, one, she like essentially called me a pedophile in the first half of it. And the second half of it, when I elucidated my points and I felt like I saved it with like, you know, an actual question, she was just like, well, I'm not answering that. And it was like, okay, cool. Well, thanks for fucking nothing, I guess. Like, you know, she had told this story about how she was streaming once, and it was like a way to like, you know, I guess like ingratiate herself with the community and talk about how hard streaming is and the technical aspects of it and this and that. And she was talking about how she had streamed for like an hour straight once with her mic off and nobody said anything. And I've never had anything that awful, but I've definitely had people, or like my audio was terrible or whatever, and people are just like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And it's not because they don't give a shit. It's because they don't want to be a burden. They don't want it to sound like they're being mean to me by being like, hey, like, fix your shit. Does YouTube have a similar policy? I don't think it's that intense. But anyway, someone else asked a question later, and her response was like also like very combative. And the dude's response to like her like just kind of brushing him off was like, one, like, what's the point of doing Q&A if like you can't answer any questions? And then two, I'm beginning to see why nobody told you your mic was off for a whole ass hour. And I was like, that shit is sick. I've seen all I gotta see. I'm getting one more drink and I'm going home. That was so fucking funny. Great job, dude. I would have loved to be the one who said that, man. I would have fucking loved it. I'm not that smart, though. I'm not that quick. I was so embarrassed. Like, just in person. I was just, like, one, it's so humiliating to, like, have someone just be like, no, I'm not answering your question. And also, you kind of sound like a pedo. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I'm like, okay, like, here's the actual question. Like, here's something that you should care about because it's people on your website being bullied. And you're like, nah, you know what? I can't let you in on any of the minutia or whether or not we're willing to, like, we'll look into this. And it's like, cool. Fucking turn off the Zoom call. Like, I don't give a shit. You couldn't even show up in person, and you're gonna be like this. Like, fuck you. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but like, fuck you. Corporate Q&A sessions tend to be like that in my experience. Real questions can't be answered. I feel like it wasn't even that much of a hardball question, though. That's why I was confused about the pushback. Because I was just like, are there any plans, you know, if you have these, like, sweeping things in place that, like, ban people en masse, do you not agree that it would be a good idea to have a second set of eyes on it, or a third set of eyes, or, like, maybe more people, like, who are tasked with making sure people banned for writing those specific blanket phrases get, you know, reinstated if it wasn't for a heinous or malicious reason. And the actual PR answer to that is, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll look into it. Answer, it makes me feel good. You don't actually have to fucking do anything. I have no idea if you've done anything after the fact. You literally just had to say, like, yeah, great idea. We'll look into it. It's so simple. Like, how can you be that bad? I don't know. It was baffling, man. Saying some dumb joke shouldn't get you permit. And it's not even, like, it shouldn't get you permit in the first place. But also, like I said, there is a very, very low barrier to entry to troll people with it. To be like, you guys should write this in chat. And then they do and they get banned. And it's like, you lost your account. Sucks to be you. Transparency with these things is always better. Like, I understand. It's, from my point of view, I get it partially. Because I think about Monster Rancher community. And I think about how I don't tell people how I vet cheaters. There's a couple of people in the community who know exactly how I do it, and they're more or less sworn to secrecy as well. Because if you know all the steps I take to be able to tell if you're cheating or not, you'll know how to avoid all those steps, right? And then it comes down to me having to make a better mousetrap and all that shit. So, like, I get it. But I think the follow-up question was not necessarily that. It was just, you know, for example, if it was asked to me and it's like, there's like this one instance where it creates false positives in catching people who are cheating, shouldn't you like be a little bit more cognizant of this one aspect that is causing false positives and maybe do something about it, and like maybe have a little bit more just be more cognizant of it, basically? And I'd be like, yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'll look into it. And then I'd probably do nothing because I know better than you. But, like, you know, I can placate you. She should have just placated me is what I'm saying. Anyway. But the good, we had also, it's fucking 100 degrees in here. Turn on my fan. Hell yeah. The good, Frenzied Potato had a Monster Rancher 3 tournament today, or yesterday? Yesterday? Sunday? What day is it today? It's Monday. I don't know. My brain is mush now. It was super sick. Friday. It happened this weekend. Today is Friday. I hope you kept your pants on. That's a little shout out from my Canadian millennials. You know what I'm talking about. Nuclear Donkey. But Monster Rancher 3 is a sick-ass game, and depending on how much time we have when we're done this, we are starting quite late. If we are done, we'll play a little bit of Monster Rancher 3, because I'm excited to play some more competitive 3. It is a sick-ass game. You guys should get invested in it. Very, very cool. And if I don't have time tonight, because I do have boxing at like 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll just do it tomorrow. We'll have a Monster Rancher 3 stream tomorrow. I want to take a little bit of a break from the More Monsters mod. I'm trying to force myself to not have too much FOMO about it, because there's a lot of designs I want to make that are just, like, it's going to take a long time, and I got other shit I got to do. There's other shit I've got to do. I got to make videos. It's been a month since I've done my last Nuzlocke video, and I want to just hammer out the rest of them, bam, 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 one per week until they're done. Yeah, there's an AV for Monster Rancher 3 as well. Suezo's Eye. All right, there's a long-ass question here, or thing I want to say. Hello to Dr. Zoc. I want to say thank you for the More Monsters how-to video. I'm slowly learning to use it. Never could have made such an easy to understand guide. Also grateful to all the folks who helped make the mod possible too. I like to send you a tip or something. Literally can't because my credit card is left. Okay, it's fine, man. It's all good. Been to invest Monster Rancher 2 currently to start 3, but might look into that next. 2 is has no issues in terms of like getting it started. Monster Rancher 3, you need the emulator, right? And PCSX 2.0 runs the game like significantly better than 1.6 did. 1.6 was you needed specific settings, and even on like an actual like serious rig, your computer would like overheat and you'd be running at like 30% like game speed for part of it. Like it was insane how much of like a hog it was. But it's very, very easy now. Very simple. And it's sick and it's cute, and it has a lot of things in terms of customization, both aesthetic and actual like stats and stuff that Monster Rancher 2 doesn't have. Monster Rancher 3 had a lot of really good ideas. Working on More Monsters is literally that meme of the girl drawing where she's all happy thinking about drawing and then crying when she actually draws. Yeah, I feel that. That's just all art. That literally is. That's me making every video. The worst part about creating and like making stuff is having to make it. Like actually making the thing is like the worst thing in the world. But the actual worst thing in the world is not making the thing. So that's the dilemma. Anyway, let's get into it. So tonight we got heavyweight. Heavyweight is the highest stat cap we usually play. That's 3,500 total stat cap. That is 3,500 total stats placed on your monster however you want. And tonight is the second last night of this first little half of the DXBL Season 4. Curtain Call and Rise and Grind. Did Freeman not upload his monster? Is it actually spelled Curtain Call? Did he forget the... Okay, it is. That's right. It's just misspelled in the form. I remember that now. Yeah, More Monsters mod has been a lot of fun to work on. I just made my last guy, or my most recent guy, I should say, which is a Hanger Duckin, and I'm pretty proud of how it looks. I had more ideas for it that just, there are no hanger textures that like work with it. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you like? So what I have is more of like it's a constellation. Like I'm happy with how it looks, but I had to scrap some ideas, which is unfortunate. Line drop to Mochi Undine. That's interesting. Love the Hanger Duckin', thank you. So cool, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ideas I have. I don't know who I want to make next. I've made a pretty wide swath of monsters, right? I made a Niton. I made a Plant. I made a Jill. I made a Hanger. I made a Gel. And then there's one more. Ghost. So I've made 6 so far. Curtain Call is going to just slap his way to victory. I would think my goal is to try and make one of each main breed. Except for maybe Model. Because Model's filling up quickly, and I feel like it's a good beginner monster for people to work on. And, you know, I don't really care about that. I like Hanger Mark 33 on the chest. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It turned out pretty well. Hey, Sid, thanks for the follow. Which Monster Rancher 2's monsters had different appearances based on age form like Monster Rancher 1's mons did? Yeah, the Monster Rancher 1 mons are really cool because like they age up and they go from like being cute to like a more like full-bodied monster. But what's really crazy about it is that that entire aging up process happens in like the first 6 months. So Curtain Call just gonna punch his way to victory. That's how you do. That's actually a crazy matchup to go first. Both those monsters could potentially just body everyone else in this tournament. Mega Durahan? Maybe. Nettle and Spotrick up next. Does YouTube chat appear live as well? It does not. I can still read it, but there's an issue with it. And that's something I would love to get fixed in the next little bit. Hopefully this week. I keep saying that, but this week I actually don't work until Friday. So I'm going to get the Rancher Rundown done. I'm going to announce some plans for things that are going to be up on Patreon and YouTube memberships, and then hopefully I can get chat working this week. Those are like my big things. Okay, prediction is live. But just so you know, I can see everything you're saying. It's just not popping up on stream. Might as well keep up with the duckin' subs. I'm kind of liking the duckin' subs. I'm not gonna lie. Excited to get started on Zilla Zoom. That one looks interesting. How does it look when his mouth is open, though? Because I saw what you did with the baleen, and I think it's very, very smart. But I know it pushes up when his mouth is open. So you'd have to make the mouth, like, I think the way to do it would be to make it a solid texture. And then, or like where it's dark inside the mouth because of lighting, make it a little bit lighter to try and make it as like solid of a color as possible, and then to like kind of counteract the shading that happens by the game's one natural light source. And then so when he opens his mouth you can't really tell, but it's tough. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Your B-Clone looks fucking crazy, dude. Hey, Spheres, thank you for the 5 gifted. Someone recommended your channel because I was reminiscing on Monster Hunter the other day. I had no idea there was a scene for it. Yeah, well, I do love Monster Hunter, but this is Monster Rancher. That's okay. Everybody makes that mistake. Welcome. It's a rite of passage. 60% on Nettle. Not sure if you commented on this already, but have you seen the German Invitational? Yeah, I did a watch along for it. I got in touch with him and I was like, hey, my name's Nash. I do all this shit. Would it be cool if I had restreamed while it was live? And he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So I did. And then I raised a monster blindfolded to compete against the monsters that Germa and co raised. I wasn't part of the tournament, and, you know, I didn't try to, like, ingratiate myself with them because it's a bunch of friends, and I'm literally nobody. I'm not trying to invite myself to the function, you know? But, yeah, I did put out a video of me raising a monster blindfolded and then competing against the monsters from the tournament. Blindfolded video is pretty great, thank you. Yeah, it went pretty well. I was like right on curve with like the best monsters in the tournament without being able to see the stream at all. Okay, game number 3, here we go. See how it looks across more varied animations than what I can see in the card viewer, but it looks pretty good there. Teeth stretched a bit, but it doesn't feel any worse than the Argonians in the Oblivion. Okay. Like casual tournaments like that just for the entertainment? 100%. It's so funny because, like, the comments and stuff on the videos and whatever are just full of people being like, don't let the sweat see this. They're going to hate it. And all of us in chat were just, like, losing our minds. It was the craziest thing. Like, we loved it. We had so much fun. Spotrick's going to barely win that one. It's sick. The difference between casual, like ultra casual Monster Rancher tournaments and competitive Monster Rancher tournaments is basically the ability to hit the stat caps. Casuals are the biggest haters. I've talked about this before, but nobody is more toxic than a casual who thinks that competitive players hate him. It's like, brother, we don't even think about you. Beyond, like, it's cool that you're playing the game. There's like this weird, I don't know if it's like they don't feel like they're as good or they feel like they're less than. I don't know what the deal is, but it's I don't know. It's overcompensation for the idea that they are being secretly made fun of. It's like all projection. It's so stupid, man. Prediction is live. Used to run into that all the time in like Smash Bros was especially bad for it because you'd have people being like, "Oh, all the tryhards are like they only want to go Fox Final Destination and they hate us and they're huge assholes." And it's like, I mean, I'd say about 5% of the community are like actual like lunatic assholes who like need to be like put in a kennel. But 99% of the people playing, which I suppose makes it about 104% of the community if you combine those two, because math is hard, is just playing the game and they're like, "This is sick. I'm enjoying myself." No, nobody cares about you, brother. Is that worse? Is it worse for them?
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
That's true. Do you think that person is more offended by the idea that there is like a clandestine group of people who are like secretly just shit talking them, or do you think it's worse for them to realize that like nobody knows they exist? I assume it's on a case-by-case basis, but oh my god, belly ripped open. Look at that. The casuals that think they're as good as competitives, yeah, so there's like, I think that's where it comes from. The people who are really bad at the game but gain self-worth from the fact they play the game are really, really obnoxious. And they're like, "Oh, like you're casual or whatever." Those guys are huge assholes. But that's such a small part of the community because you get humbled real quick and you realize everyone else in the scene is normal and you shouldn't act like that. But then, yeah, you got the casuals who are just like everybody. And same thing, 99% of casuals are just like, "I like this game. The game is fun." And then there's like that 5% who are like really, really like antagonistic and have a chip on their shoulder and all that shit. Looking at this hanger, I'm realizing I maybe should have made... No, I wouldn't even say I should have made this one the base. The problem with the hanger mock I used is that the shoulders and the middle piece and like the waist and all of that are all the same texture. So it's like it's really tough to differentiate stuff. But these little things on the legs here, I couldn't remove those. If I tried to remove those, they would just be like holes in the body. That was 2-1 for the hanger, right? Regular hangers like that too. I was messing around with them yesterday. Like the pieces are all different or they're all the same. The biggest problem with me, to be fair, I didn't look at every single one and then plan out what I thought would be best. But regular hanger, his chest and the back of his head, like the middle piece, are the same texture. And I was like, I can't do that because I need to change how this looks. I think casuals in other communities might get some hate. It's not like that. But what I'm saying is the people who hate on casuals are the same percentage of casuals who are like really, really obnoxious about competitive players. It's all people who like don't actually know what they're talking about in both sides. Just being a huge jerk because being an asshole on the internet is rewarded. I went to the robot. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you like? Battle art for Gel Durhan turned out really awesome. Thank you. I'm not really a fan of it. It's more of like a, it's just there. I'm done. It's something. If I could make it smoother, I would really like it. I tried to just add like a 2% blur just to like make it a little less like sharp on the edges. And it added so many artifacts because the way the cards work is that you only have 16 colors on the cards. And as soon as you add more, it like starts to fuck up. So when I did the fading or when I did the blur, it added all these like halftones and like transitional tones that just became like bright white everywhere. And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I don't who cares? I'll figure it out later. 53% on Okani Kani Jr. I like the idea for it. I just... It looks like a cutout pasted on a background. IMO. Damn. A very, very slow sacred combo. Game number 2. Here we go. Claw Assault into Hidden Sting. He tried it again. It worked one time. Claw Assault and the Claw Assault. The crit will do it. He's got the grit, though. Grid back blow. 1-2 punch. Can't land either. It's 70%. Mamma mia. Here I go again. Gets hit with the Hidden Sting. It's over. Okani Kani Jr. going to take game number 2. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to tell you guys what the second half, or remainder, I should say, it's not exactly half, of the DXBL is going to be going forward. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll have an announcement next week. See that post on Monster Rancher Reddit? It's growing. Which post? Did I see that post? No, I didn't see that post. Let me check real quick. What are we talking about? Let me get the prediction up and then we can do it. It's just we hit 8K members on the Reddit or in the Discord. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Does that mean new sign up soon? It does. Oh, the Reddit? I don't spend a lot of time on the Reddit because it's mostly just like, look at this thing. Look at my monster. Isn't this funny? And it's just like the monster they found at the shrine with like fucked up stats and then gets like 100 upvotes. It's like, all right, man. Reddit do be low hanging fruit. It is what it is. 65% on fair play. Here we go. With Stack Cap, would you recommend someone wanting to try out competitive? Should we stay tuned for your announcement next week? Well, signups are going to be available. Also, power. You're not surviving that as a tank. I'm sorry, brother. There's going to be signups for lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. People may not want to necessarily make new monsters for it. There's a lot of people who are like, I'm dumping my monster that's doing bad in the league, and that's fine. They're allowed to. It's not a big deal. But there will be a reason to hang around if your monster's still in it. So there's no problem with people looking at each other's cool monsters. No, for sure. It is what it is. I don't care. It's just, it's not a place I hang out a lot because it's just, you know, I'm happy people are enjoying the game. I don't need to see 100 posts of just like, here's a thing I found at the shrine. It's like, I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad you're having fun. We need more people playing the game. 2 fluid, 2 fists, and a little bugger. Lil B, based God, here we go. Okie dokie. Prediction is live. Who do you like? I was gonna train for Macho Thursday's 2v2 tourney with a partner, but we were both just getting into competitive. I mean, that's fair too. The thing is, you can't start playing competitively until you've made a competitive monster. It sounds stupid, but like, so many people are just like, oh, you know, I need to get a little bit better. I need to get a little bit better. And it's like, nobody cares, man. I got 4th place with fucking Mochi last Macho Thursday. Do whatever. The world is your oyster. Hey, I found a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gel the other day. I think it's glitched. I'm excited for that to pop up again next month for like the 90th time. $52% on 2 fluid, 2 fists. We cheer for the unoptimized monsters? Absolutely. Because it's very funny to see them win. I have 2 brand new monsters going into Machos this week. I can only hope for the best. I think me and JM are teaming. He's doing Manly Oak, and I'm doing Manila Prancha. So we got 2... We got Wood Golem and Wood Knight as the team, which is going to be sick. Just like balls to the wall, kill everything builds. Super sick. Didn't kill him. Alright, that did. My monsters almost lost it fresh off the Shrine Galaxy. Yeah, that's true. Me and my very large sun team? Yeah, exactly. Don't ever wither mirror my son again. That shit was crazy, man. Like the Suezo lives for 1 week. Sweki Suezo? Yeah. Sweki Suezo was like one of those things that like was super exciting to find as a kid. Because you got it by putting the Monster Rancher 1 disc in Monster Rancher 2. Like, that's how you spawned it. So, for me, I didn't know it was a thing right away because I didn't have Monster Rancher 1. And then my cousin came over and we put it in and we're like, oh my god, this thing is broken. And then it died immediately and we just like burst out laughing. It was the funniest thing in the world to us. Wii Spinning and Jam Lord. And then we realized real quickly, like, oh, we can make money with this. Arthur versus Varjak Paw match is still a top 5 of all time set, 100%. And the fact I bet like 50,000 chips on it too, because I'm like, there's no possible way this mixed attacker tank Mochi with pedal swirl and the basics can win. And then it won. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Sweki Suezo exclusive tournament. It'll be the most boring thing ever. Everybody gets to choose. I guess you can't even put a point in it because it just instantly dies. Give it one. Give it 1 Larox. Take away 10 life and give it 10 power. There you go. You made a difference. I think one of my favorite, like, it sucks that it happened to me, but I think one of my favorite matches was in Tangents League. 88% on Wii Spinning. I was fighting Blue Kato with Cool Lobster, and I missed something like 20, like across 4 games. I missed like 20 of 21, 70% and above attacks to lose the set. And the one attack I did hit was a roll assault, and I instantly won. And so basically, I needed to land 3 attacks to like win this set. And I missed like 20 plus at 70% chance to hit and above. Just unbelievably bad luck, and I was like losing my mind. And in retrospect, it's very funny. Yeah, no, you can't feed Sweki anything. Also, extremely quick set. The dragon's got it. He's not dragging it out. Ah. Got spun on. Eat fingers, fucko. Okay, Tatsumaki and Mr. Sandman. I was talking about doing it. Oh, that's not... Is that... Yeah, that... Is that also penguins? No. Okay, prediction is live. There is a mochi that starts with 777 life and defense, and then 111 in every other stat, that only lives for 1 week, but it can be fed items. And I was debating doing a series of streams where I try to beat the game with it, and I don't know how willing to do that I am, because the problem is not that it's difficult. The problem is that it's simply RNG. You're fighting endgame stuff, super understated, and you're just hoping you get the win. It's more reset heavy than hard, yeah. Like, if you trained it every single week, it never had to rest, and then you did tournaments whenever possible to, like, rank up as quickly as possible. 54% on Tatsumaki. You have roughly 50 weeks. Because you can feed it peaches to give it 75 weeks lifespan. Tournaments, you need... tournaments give you 21... or they steal 21 weeks of life. So ideally, actually, the optimal way to raise him is to, like, do tournaments all the time. Because you'll get better stat gains from the tournaments than you will from actually raising him. So even if he only lives for, like, a couple of months, he'll get better gains from tournaments, like, in Rank S than he will from anything else. He's got the power. Power back blow! Holy shit, there's the grit, though. He's still in it. The tail swing misses. The giant whip, it's going to miss. 7 seconds left. He hits a giant whip. Tatsumaki going to take that. We're going to game 3. Damn. A lot of people picking up back blow, eh? It is really cheap and really fast. It's pretty non-committal for hair. Shortest Unity in Color Pandora history? It was quite short. Alright. The bunny's gonna take it. Next up, Girls Night and El Tigre Loco. Back blow leads into a bunch of strong moves too. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Prediction is live. Who do you like? Happy, catch a bit of your stream. Hope the rest goes well. Thanks, Farah. Have a good night. Mr. Sandman, send me a man. Make him the cutest. Car hand hook man. I think, isn't it car door hook hand? Is that how that joke goes? Car door hook hand, yeah, exactly. But who was phone? Alright, 57% on Girls Night. How is Babby formed and other such questions? Big damage on the double dash slash? He's not dead, though. He's got a lot of life. The slaps. Can you win it on slaps? Jumping chop. Good crit. Girls Night still in it, though. Another slap. Punch combo. Drops it. We got fisticuffs. Another jumping chop. El Tigre Loco. Big comeback. You couldn't remember? Okay. One of my, earliest internet memories, I had been on the internet before, but one of the first, Flash videos I remember seeing is the Mr. Sandman video on Albino Black Sheep. Which is, probably not funny. I haven't seen it in 100 years. But definitely a product of its time. The big cut into the slaps. The slaps. Do be slapping. Slapping and jumping. Punch combo. Yeah. She does like throwing hands. Alright. That'll do it. The girls got it. Girls get it done. Bat and Bug and Prezioso up next. We've been seeing Prezioso a lot lately. Okay, predictions live. What do you guys like? This is a Swiss format tournament for those uninitiated. Every monster is going to fight 3 times. And then based on their wins and losses, they will move up or down the ladder. That is the DXBL Season 4. Maybe once we've done this round, I'll hint towards what's happening with not next week, but the week after, or rather when we get back into it. Because next week is the final week of like this first section of the DXBL. Essentially, every monster fought twice in a way to kind of striate the power levels. So we got some monsters who are strong, some monsters who are like not doing so well, but can't necessarily. It's not like they can't fight back, and then some monsters in the middle. And then the next little section of the tournament uses that information. My earliest internet memory is not understanding how it worked and accidentally leaving my dial-up connected for hours and getting in trouble for a huge bill. I mean, I feel like that's a parent's problem, not a you problem. Rat and Bug with 99 kamikaze with 99 guts. Can't tank that. Tide goes in, tide comes out. Can't explain that. My actual very first internet memory was my friend showed me, or sorry, I went to my cousin's house and he had downloaded a video off the internet. I would have been 8 or something at the time, and he would have been 9. And what it was an AMV of Dragon Ball Z set to Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys. And I was just like, this is so fucking cool, dude. The internet is the greatest thing of all time. Okay, Bat and Bug gonna win that. Why do they call it oven when you oven like cold food? Hot, is it of out hot eat the food? Yeah, that's correct. You're right. Hisoka and Kid Muscle. What was John up to when he said that? It's 3 S's. I made this mistake last time too. If you don't know the oven, cold food, hot out, eat food, whatever bit, it's old copy pasta that's set to I don't remember where the copy pasta is from originally, but they set it to a Garfield panel, and it's like John putting lasagna in the oven. Predictions live. And every time I see it, I just think this is like maybe like 5% less intelligible than like the average Heathcliff strip. It's not like, it's not that different. Uses Pokemon chat rooms and AOL. I never face blue smiling. Yeah, he was up to lasagna. That's true. 58% on Kid Muscle. I never actually had AOL. I got MSN Messenger for the first time, and this is gonna sound fucking crazy to everybody here. I got it for the first time in 2009. When I moved to college. I knew my friends had it, but I didn't have the internet growing up. Huge Cow Tools guy, personally. Gary Larson's a mystery. Because when you're, like, tasked with making a comic every day, some of them are just dog-ass, right? And, like, you can't blame them for it. Was I one of those IRC kids? I literally did not have the internet. No. I knew what IRC was. I knew what all these things were, but I was, like, uninitiated. I made a GeoCities website on the school computers. I think I was like the first instance of being cyberbullied in Ontario. It was like a big thing. One of the other kids at my school made a website about how, like a GeoCities site about how much I sucked. And I remember the principals being like, I don't know how to deal with this shit. Anyway, I think that's 1-1, right? I think the snake won. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong. Naga has the properties of both rubber and gum. It's true. It was 0-2? Well, I mean, both of them won at least one, so that's not possible. Is 2-0 Jar? Wait, Jar won 2-0, and then the Snake won a game after that? Also thought it was 2-0 for Bajarl. Bajarl won game 1. So then did he win game 2 as well? Is that what you're saying? So Bajarl won the first 2 games. Okay. Okie dokie. So Kid Muscle wins that. 2-0. Root Beer and Big Graham up next. I fucking forgot. Oh my god. Sorry, Big Graham. I don't have the monsters I've made turned off. Oops. Secret sneak peek at the More Monsters mod, I guess. This guy's actually live right now. You can, this is supposed to be Kato. It has all Kato stats and stuff. There's nothing broken about it. Prediction is live. Okay, so I got the grid on game 2. Okay, thank you. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So this is Kato Hopper, which is one of the new monsters in the More Monsters mod. Coming to a store near you, i.e. you can download it on the website. There's also a modded hair sub earlier. No, that's Tornado. That hair was never in Monster Rancher 2, but it was in Monster Farm 2. We got Kung Fu hair, and they got that weird-ass guy. And then in this version of the game, they're both available. All right, 59% on Root Beer. You guys can see the ice wave and ice spikes and stuff in action now, though. Got him with the snowstorm. Ooh, big dodge. Big boy, big dodge. Ice wave? You can't, it goes by fast, but it's striped. Striped like Hopper's tail. Alright. Jill wins game 1. Game 2, here we go. Big ol' miss. Missing everything. Root Beer chilling. I think he'll look better once we can like do some model editing and I can give him little ears. Why does it sound like the one Fensler film stuff? Don't give him the stick. Yeah, it sounds exactly like that. Oh my god, we're going to game 3. Is that a custom mod Jill? It is, yeah. This is Jill Hopper. I like the way the leaf like bounces. It's animated well. That wasn't anything I did. That's just what it looks like in-game. Big ol' miss. He can't hit anything. I hope I didn't curse him. I hope that's not what's happening here. Mastercard's picture that Jill is so legit. How they managed to make one like that? I made that. It's just Photoshop. It's like is it like a 48 by 96 or like a 64 by 96 image, and you just got to fit whatever you're making into that. I'm glad you like it. Root beer 2-1 over Big Grem. Gulag and Dadbot up next. We got special breed fight. Here we go. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you like? We got on the best. 90% on Gulag. People liking the goo. The big goo. Here we go. Here we go even. Miss on the glide charge. For Snake Eater remake? I've seen screenshots of it, and Snake Eater is one of the most like stylized games of all time. And they were just like, what if we like Nintendo hire this man is how the game looks to me. Is that the main villain from the anime? Yeah. I wonder what you could get up to by using Moo's model to make a new dragon. Alright, well that was extremely quick. Gulag takes it. Hinwood and Sir Static. It's kind of wild how much Moo looks like it's a subtype for a monster that wouldn't exist for 2 more games. Yeah. He looks exactly like Ripper, yeah. Or Ripper looks exactly like him. It helps if I spell it right. MGS Delta looks exactly like those remade in Unreal Engine 5 YouTube videos. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, a lot of games from that era, or just a lot of games, like, we're beyond the point of, like, there's always going to be technical limitations that people are, like, pushing up against and trying to do better than, right? But in terms of, like, graphic fidelity and all that stuff, I'm not going to be the guy who's, like, games can't look better. Like, this is the best games will ever look. But, like, it's such a... like... the rewards you get at this point are, like, so minute over what they were, like, even a generation ago. It's just, like, people, I don't know. Games, when they were limited, for the most part, had a better, especially 3D games specifically. 3D games, when they were limited, had to rely on art direction to be interesting. And now they're like, well, I don't think we need that anymore because we can make Solid Snake look exactly like a real guy. And it's like, all right, well, that's fair, I guess. 57% on Sir Static. Damn, power stab throw, your ass is dead, brother. I don't know. I'm gonna be real. That's how I feel about Heart Gold Soul Silver. People look at me like I'm crazy, but I think the... oh my god, power death thrust? You're so fucking dead. That's so unfortunate. I don't like Heart Gold and Soul Silver over regular gold and silver. I think they're fine. They're good games. They're the same game, and they've changed some stuff. But the vibe is not there, man. The vibe of Gen 2 is untouched. The color, the palette choices, all that. The sprite work is incredible. And then Gen 4, it kind of just looks like every other Pokemon game. Mario RPG remakes? I don't have as strong of an opinion on that, but I get it. Nothing will ever reach the height of the vibe Gen 2 reached, and it's not just because it came out when I was 10 years old. Stop telling me it's just because it came out when I was 10 years old. The music is phenomenal. The remixes they did of all the Kanto songs are great. Yeah, it's fantastic. Goldenrod, Azalea Town, all these tracks are very good. Final Fantasy Tactics. Didn't Tactics slap that like Super Psy 2X ZS NES filter on all their shit though? It's like, oh, it looks good now because it's smooth. %78 on Rambo, the remake. I thought they were doing that like when they first showed it off. They're like, this is what it looks like. It's like high definition, and it's just like everything was like rounded and weird looking. Damn. Kimchi gonna take game 1. And again, he survives it though. He's got power this time. Oh my god, no! Oh, Rambo. Oh, poor Rambo, man. Mamma mia. I paid out the wrong side. I'm sorry, guys. That's the first time that happened. Might be. Bugtimus Prime and Sensui. Rigged? I don't have a horse in this race. I think the fake PS1 aesthetic it's kind of popping off right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy it. Things that are like, what if we took Mega Man Legends and just like aped its art style entirely? I'm like, that's okay with me. That's fine. You can do that. Prediction is live. I think we're officially out of the era of every game trying to look like Jet Set Radio, and now we're into the era of every game's trying to look like Mega Man Legends. And I prefer the aesthetics of Mega Man Legends to Jet Set Radio, so I'm here for it. $77% on Sensui. We got 3 Gaboos back to back. Both have their styles. Yeah, no, I mean, I think you'd be crazy to say there's like issues or like the art style of Jet Set Radio is bad. Like, I think you'd be a crazy person, but I'm okay with like how many games we have that ape that style right now. Every game should try to actually be Mega Man Legends. I'm gonna be real. The first little bit of Mega Man Legends, the first dungeon and all that, quite tedious. Every game should have Mega Man. Now we're talking. Very hyped for the Final Fantasy Tactics remake. Hope they do well keeping the overall aesthetic. I hope so too. I never beat the Tactics Ogre remake. Okay, that's game 2, right? Right? Also, if you're making Beaklon in the More Monsters mod, don't be stressed out because look how fucked up this shell looks. There's only so much you can do. I'm printing up the game facts list of quiz questions for Mega Man Legends 2 and telling my aunt it was for school. Hell yeah. These are the answers to my next week's test. No, wait. I mean, wait. I think that's the most I've seen Horn Combo do anything in this game. Alright, that is the first set. Come and gone. We're into round 2. I'm going to take a quick break, go get some more water, and we will be right back. Uno momento. BRB. Alright, welcome back everyone. Hope you're doing fantastic. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, when we were starting the second round, we would talk a little bit about the future of the DXBL because we were getting close to the half point in the season. I don't think it's actually the half point, it's probably closer to like a third, but either way, we are gonna expound a little bit on what's going on from this point on. So after every monster that is currently in the league has fought twice, which will be next week, every single monster will have fought twice. I'm going to get this prediction going. Prediction is live. You can bet on who you like. Both these monsters won their first fight. I was going to say fatch, which is fight and match, which is not a word. Okay, so after next week, people will have the chance to remove monsters from the league that they don't want to fight anymore. If they're like, something I have is doing really badly, I'm not a big fan of it. If they want to make something new, and it'll be open to new people playing as well. The ladder is not actually a ladder per se. The ladder, people have been taking a look at it, and it's like, oh, like I'm like second dan, I'm first dan, I'm first queue, like based on like where I am on the list. Those are just to determine what rank your monster sits in, what league your monster sits in going forward. So basically, the entire ladder is going to be split up into rank C, rank B, and rank A. And there's going to be playoffs and championships for each rank. If you get relegated to a lower rank and then the season ends, you will probably end up fighting for the championship of that rank. If you move up at the last bit, you will maybe fight for a championship of a higher rank. But this way, your monster can still win a championship if they've been doing like piss poor this whole tournament. If they went like 0-3 2 times in a row, they can still technically win a championship. They'll just be fighting in rank C instead of rank B or rank A. Okay, what do we got? 54% on Hinwood. So monsters will still move up and down the ladder. There will still be additional ranks and all that fun stuff. But after next week, we will have fight nights that are like all rank A fight. Like all rank A monsters fight this week. So it'll be a bunch of heavyweights and a bunch of lightweights and a bunch of middleweights on the same card. And then we'll have like a rank C fight night, and it'll be all the same on the same card. And then we'll probably have like 2 or 3 fight nights of rank B, because rank B will be the biggest until things get delineated a little bit more. Okay, so we got 1-1 going into game 3. Here we go. Left hand is angry? Yeah. Death thrust 31%. You're dead, kid. Hinwood gonna take it. I have a question regarding battle specials. Does it having more than of them on a monster make it less likely for one to trigger when it's able to? None of them have the same trigger condition, so no. The only time something would like potentially trigger over something else is if you get hit with an attack while your monster has a battle special active and it puts you into the range to proc power. You would have a chance to proc power and you would have a chance to proc fury. But it's not like one overwrites the other. Power has priority, so power would be the one that triggers if they both triggered, but they have individual chances to roll. So it's better to just have more, because then you get more chances. Fair Play and Bugtimus Prime up next. What is the strongest you can raise a Joker in Classic up to without it dying of old age? Like max stats. Like, I don't really know how to answer that question. Max stats. Monster Hunter 2, you can make them immortal? In the base game, yeah. In DX, that's not the case anymore. Must be doing something wrong? I mean, predictions live. You probably are doing something wrong, but you're probably not doing something so wrong that it's like... not something you couldn't fix with like a little bit of tweaking. Getting to max stats with a monster that has a really low lifespan requires a lot of like playing the game in an unfun way. The easiest way is you make a stronger baby through combination, and then, you know, realistically you can easily start with like 500 to 600 in like every stat, and then bingo bango, there you go, you make something new out of that. Very easy to hit max stats with that. On a fresh monster, the way you do it is by just resetting the game every time you don't get a great, which is like not fun, but it is technically possible. If you're like really struggling to raise your stats at all, if you can't hit like 4 stats or like at least 3 stats to max, then you need to look up the no rest method. Terrified of doing fusion calculations? It's not so bad. You only need to line up the base stats of the baby with the stat gains affecting the stat gain weighted final stats of the parent monsters. It's very simple. So simple that I tripped over my explanation. Okay, that's one. Is that 1-1? I really got to come up with like a quick way to talk about combination, so I can just be like bomb, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, 2-0. Thank you. You need to line up the base stats of the baby to match the order of the stat gain weighted final stats of the 2 parent monsters. Is the most concise way to explain combination. So basically, you need to make sure that your monsters, the 2 parent monster stats, are the same. So like their highest stat is the same. Like they both have life for the highest stat, for example. They both have power for the second highest stat, skill for the third highest stat, all the way down. But whatever order you choose for those stats to line up, you want them to line up with the base stats from highest to lowest of the baby you're trying to make. So if the baby has really high starting life and then starting power is its next highest stat, and then so on and so forth, that's what you're trying to aim for. Fair Play wins 2-0. 2 Fluid, 2 Fists, and Spa Trick. Math hard? I mean, Legend Cup does the work for you. It didn't used to. We used to have to type that shit out and figure it out. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? Yeah, if you can't get max stats, like, are you using the no rest method? How are you raising your guy? You had to write it on college-wide sheet of paper with a pencil. Back in my day, we didn't even have pencils. You had to carve it into the trunk of a tree. 63% on spot trick. Here we go. The ice sword. The ice sword. Ice sword's like actually not terribly, like terrible numerically. Back in my day, we didn't even have trees. Are you from the year 2895 or something? Two fluid, two fists. Gonna take game number 1. The cold fog, the one time you don't want to see Undine spamming cold fog. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, she's got no power and only cold fog. Oh my god, girl. What are you doing? Too cold, too fog. 2 whips. 2 fluid, 2 whips. Alright, well, yeah, this is a foregone conclusion. Going to game 3, here we go. She's throwing. It's so funny how bad the AI in this game is. Triple ice sword with power? Oh, she did it. Into the cold fog with power? It did 16 damage. Oh, dolphin blow. Anything will kill. She just needs to swing. She swings again and misses again. He's got 99 guts. He's going to win it on that. She tried. Anyone can get pixie brain? It's true. Spotrick going to win that one 2-1. I almost typed in the wrong winner again. That would have been awful. Wii spinning and robot hot. Here's Spotrick. Pot is banned. Okay, prediction is live. Twitch censored your monster for me. So it was ran by kindergarten teachers. Were you here for the beginning of the stream when I unloaded about that? Because you're not wrong. 58% on Robot Hot. Just joined a bit ago. You'll want to rewatch the beginning of the stream after it's over then. So I talked about my weekend in which I had to deal with that very thing. 766. I love Claw, man. It's not a good tech, but it feels good to land it. The hurry chop. Not gonna land. We spin and wins game 1. Oh, wow. The big miss. He's missing. Ooh, crit. So laugh. Remember the one monster fishmonger got censored into fish? Question marker? Yeah. It makes it so much worse, man. Oh, the laser cutter. Laser cutter's good. He hits it. That's it. Declan and Arrowhead didn't exist. I think Hanger would be my favorite. It's just such a cool monster. Hanger is pretty sick, yeah. He's a very cool guy, and he doesn't afraid of anything. 2-1. Girls' Night and Okani Kani Jr. I remember finding a sign in Game Builder Garage to something like, I doubt I'll fin it. What? What? Oh, because it censored shit. That's funny. I knew it was finish it, but... Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, censorship is weird. Why Okani so sad? Because he looks like a fucking freak. You'd be crying if you looked like him too. Okay, 67% on Okani Kani Jr. Life of Mustard Arrow was quite harrowing. Quite harrowing, even. Angry Cut in 2? No. No real withering on any of this, eh? Yeah. Whose job is it to combine everything with Suezo? Mine. I think Mustard Arrow is like one of the more like clever designs in the game, to be honest. Thurhan doesn't have a Suezo variant. He does in Monster Hunter 4. Suezo tail is upside down on Mustard Arrow's head. Yeah, it's just a big eyeball upside down. It's sick. Their hand gets a big eyeball shield. I could see that. Okay. So, Girls Night gonna win that one 2-0. Bat and Bug and Mr. Sandman up next. There's been a couple of cool ideas people have been talking about for the... They've been just kind of like thrown around. I don't think anyone's actually working on them for the More Monsters mod. But I forget who it was. If it was Hyena, who was talking about Jaggernaut and how their horn is just 2D. So you could get rid of it entirely if you wanted to. Like, that's kind of interesting. It would look really funny, but... And then they were talking about if you want to make Beaklon Zilla, you could turn the horn into an anchor, which I think is a pretty cool idea. There's... Like, I have really bad FOMO about it. There's so many things I want to make, and I'm so stressed that someone's going to make a thing I want to make, and then just make it like a recolor and be like, hey, look at this, I did it. I made them brown. And I'll be like, oh, okay, well, all right, I guess I'll do something else now. %76% on Bat and Bug. His idea for a fun mock Suezo for over a decade. I'm sad because it'd be insanely hard to do. All right, well, fucking, what are you trying to do here? Be mysterious? Like, what? I got this really cool idea. Teehee? You will never know. Hee. Like, just say the thing. You don't have to be fucking coy about it. You're an adult. Sure, there's a way whenever monsters get power anger, they get all veiny and make a face. Why? I think the animation's fine as is. So you make it better and shame them for their recolor unless they use their recolor the best they can manage. Not a single person who has made anything that like comes close to a recolor is the best they can manage. Just a thought. That's like Color Pandora does that when it gets hit in Monster Hunter 3. Okay. So is that a 2-1? 1-1. Thank you. You knew. You were ahead of me. You knew I wasn't paying attention. Just didn't want to share. Don't yell at me. I'm going to yell at you more now. Now that I know that you can be bullied, You've shown weakness in my chat. You will never make this mistake again. It's fine if you don't want to talk about it, but it is kind of a pet peeve of mine. What you said was fine, but it reminded me of people who are just like, they'll type in chat like, oh, I had this really cool idea one time, and then just never say what it was, and it's like almost like they want me to engage and be like, oh yeah, what was the cool idea? Or like people will message me on Discord, and because I guess I have some cachet in the community, who would have thought? And they'll be like, hey, really like the streams, I want to ask you a question. And then I'm just like, ask the fucking question. Like, I don't say anything. And then they'll respond like months later, be like, hey, just wondering if I could ask you a question. And it's like, what am I going to say? No? Just ask your question. So I was picking on you because I was projecting those people onto you. So used to talking too much. Eventually people snap at me because I can't read social cues. Autism's a hell of a drug. Brother, look at where you are right now. People in the Discord today were talking about how they were all like universally like afraid of me when they joined the community. And it's so crazy to me because I don't feel like I'm that aggro about anything. I feel like I can be, like, I can banter. Like, if someone says something and they're, like, teasing me or whatever, I'll, like, hit back. Or they'll say something insane in chat and I'll call it out. But everybody was like, yeah, I was afraid of this guy. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? I was turning, goes good. We're about halfway through. Done a lot of matches. Been a lot of fun. Alpha male, the Monster Hunter community. That's like fucking being the tallest dude with no legs. Base drill, big damage. Really like plant hair design. It's so sick. They gave him a little foot on his butt too. He's got the thumper. And the fact his ears are the leaves. And then they made the side leaves like little hearts. Like, or they're supposed to be like 2 ears. But it looks like little hearts kinda. Very cool design. Kind of got a pompadour right now. It's kind of just fluffy. If I put my hand here, you can see it's like not actually sticking up on my head. Root beer gonna take it. That's 1-1, right? Just looks plain wrong. No, it looks great. We were just talking about how wrong you were. I went to Wrongland and they all knew you. The root combo. I think hair plant was also the first plant I ever got in Monster Hunter 2. Go there all the time. Ultra gonna take that one 2-0. Also, I'm scrolling up a little bit in chat. The full color Kappa face is fucking crazy. I don't know why it's so unsettling. Gulag and Kimchi up next. I haven't even seen anyone use like the actual Kappa face in forever. I think that's like an older era of Twitch. We're officially getting aged out of Twitch, folks. Majorel top tier? No, but he is fun. Okay, prediction is live. Look like the protagonist of Secret of Evermore. Let's Google this. Okay, so I get it. Let's take a look real quick. That's the wrong desktop. I get it. But this is just Marty McFly. What's I got bananas in my ears too. Let's see, why am I in all caps? This is me. It's also the same guy. When's Mike getting into Smash? His name's Ness. They already have him in there. Alright. Let's go back. The difference between, like, Chesses doesn't look like that because he's bald as fuck. I don't know how he managed to convince everybody that he's got hair, but nobody who wears a ball cap like that has hair. There's no reason to wear a hat like that if you're not bald. Even if he pulls it off and he's got like 6 foot long hair, he's still bald. Schrodinger's bald guy. He's honorary bald. 76% on Gulag. He's spiritually bald. Yeah. Back to the Future is like very close to a perfect movie. I was never a hat person. I got my bad idea ball cap hanging around somewhere. Oh. Returning the classic. Here we go. Returning the Mac. Okay, so we got we're going in game 3. You lied to me. Look at that. I look bald now. See? You can't wear the hat and not look bald. There's nothing you can do about it. Big Chops would be a good Gaboo name. It would, actually. Hair magically disappeared. I know. It went to the bald dimension. I think it's Asmongold. What are you talking about? Bajarl gonna take it. Gonna bow in. Bajarl's actually killing it tonight. Nettle and Lil Bugger up next. Yeah, I think I started too late to play Monster Rancher 3 tonight. But we can always play it tomorrow. I think I want to raise an Octopi for the tournament. I gotta write some more letters in here. A little boo. You'll always be my boo. Okay. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Everything about Monster Rancher 3 is soothing to me, but it's probably just nostalgia. It's just really fun. Frederick from Monster Rancher 3 is my idol. I don't know who that is. I don't know who the characters are. I know there's the twins. There's the smarmy blonde guy. The guy with the turban. Grandma with the cat on her head. That's it. 88% on Lil Bugger. Flareon is older in the US release. Yeah, it was a really good idea to not make your assistant a 4-year-old girl in the West. Mushroom looking guy. Moochie. He's also in Advanced 2. But they just call him like peddler or merchant or something. Even though that game takes place like 300 years later. If I didn't fail all my training sessions for the first 4 months or so, I'd probably have completed it. Yeah, you can just like rest your monster for like the first like month in Monster Rancher 3. Alright, well that was that was it. That was 2-0. Very quick. Power knock. Open the door, it's real. What are you gonna do? 100% locked into making Psy Roller for next month? Hell yeah. Are you gonna make Mega Roller? Mega Roller is sick. Heavy Whale and Jam Lord. Psy Roller, another monster that's really funny because like they gave him 1 intelligence tech and like extremely good power gains. But so you're kind of locked into doing a power build. There's nothing you can really do about that because you don't want a low damage withering tech. But he also, for whatever reason, just does not have any accurate techs. Everything is like minus 15. It's sick. Monster Rancher 3's tech values are suspect. Okay, prediction is live. Here we go. The guy with the funny hat from 4. Mogi? Mogi's in 3 as well. Mogi's pretty good. Everything except for Mew that is like top tier in the game, as far as we like understand what is and isn't top tier, has a slow guts rate, so withering is pretty strong. Mogi sucks? Mogi doesn't suck. He's a cool dog mole. His like description of Monster Rancher 3 is really funny. It says something about how he likes to dig holes in a 16-beat timing. It's kind of a mole. It's like, I don't know. Even the description, like, the encyclopedia is like, I don't know what the fuck this thing is. It's kind of a mole. 61%. Suzerain, you're probably thinking about. Yeah. Suzerain's great. The regional variant, the Takarama regional variant of Suzerain is like a top 3 of all time monster for me. Because I just made a little Mexican man. They gave him a mustache and everything. It's sick. That and I get to call him Taco Bell, which is like the perfect name. No one, it's not possible to come up with a better name for Senyorin than Taco Bell. Senyorin Cardgidge? Cardgidge would be close. But it's not better than Taco Bell. Jam Lord, gonna take game number 2. We're going to game 3. Mogi reminds me of Hanna-Barbera characters. I could see that. How do you feel about the special breed in 3? Go look up what the special breed's name is in Monster Rancher 3. I'm not saying it on stream. It's fine in context because he's like a dog kind of, but I'm not saying it. Oh, Heavy Whale gonna take it. Look at that. The grit comeback. Umbreon, yeah. Exactly. Monster Rancher 3 gel is so funny. Yeah. It sucks because I really like that Mogi design. They're like the hip-hop kid Mogi. It's sick. Or maybe he's like a snowboarder. I don't know what the deal is, but I like it. Got Ricky Winterborn vibes, you know? Alce and El Tigre Loco. That's me doing my best macho impression, trying to pronounce a word that isn't in English. It's poisson, by the way, is how you say it, macho. Le poisson. Okay. You'd like actually shit your pants if you saw how frog was spelt in French and how it's pronounced, though. Fish is one thing. Frog is another thing entirely. Okay. Prediction is live. There's also the other not particularly racially sensitive Mogi. Yeah, there's also a Mogi that wears a turban. Frog or toad in French? Frog. Let's see if you can pass thick fur to Viva Roller. Viva Roller is the beaver, right? Yeah. I'm gonna use Swolpian's hard to make a Viva Roller with thick fur, tough skin, and armor. Ooh. That's interesting. Godspeed dodging, though. 93%, I'll say. Doesn't Cyroller have like a 45 guts rate or something? It's like the equivalent of like a 16 in Monster Rancher 2. Ooh, 1-2 punch. I know Toad in French is the funny one. I'm saying trying to pronounce frog in French if you don't know anything about French is like a bewildering combination of letters. Alright, El Tigre Loco wins game number 1. I beat Clown with stone body and armor and a ton of defense, and all I can say is that don't put all your eggs in the defense basket. You also ran into a bracket where everyone was running intelligence text, so you had like very little actual damage reduction. You didn't get on this bus to wrong land. Say hi to everyone for me. Alright, El Tigre Loco's gonna take that. Next up, we got Tatsumaki and Prezioso. .72. All right, we're gonna look this up real quick. What is Cyroller's guts rate? I'm curious. Oh shit, it's got a 60? That's 62. I didn't realize it was that fast. Yeah, he's got like an 8 guts rate. That's actually, yeah, because the highest in the game is 66, I think. Which is like 7.5-ish. Yeah, so he's got 7.2. Is that 8 or a 9? It's 8, yeah. 8.06. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, next up. We got Tatsumaki and Prezioso. It said that. I don't know why I thought it was so slow. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tank with that for sure. Okay, predictions live. Who do you guys like? Oh, also, when I was testing out my my Lesion, I was testing it against your Momo from last time, and I was just like, Momo is fucking cracked. I can't. I think I played like 20 games against it, and I think I won like 7. Like, I was just like, holy shit, Momo is. In that matchup in particular, because, you know, I have a slow guts rate monster trying to do withering. 77% on Tatsumaki. Yeah, I gotta get sharp eyes. Ooh, big giant whip. The jabbed a little bit. 2 tanks. Hopper combo to finish it? That'll do it. Tatsumaki gonna get hopper comboed. Next game, here we go. Flip combo opener might be okay for Tatsumaki. That spiral rush gonna do good damage. Prezioso, you know, has a much faster guts rate, which is a crazy thing to say about a monster with a 9 guts rate. Schwupo, he just wins all the time when he shouldn't. Stop testing stuff against him because they don't get reliable results. You made something broken. You made an outlier. Giant whip gonna take it. Tatsumaki wins game number 2. Here we go. Was it Legend Cup and saw the Amy, Pixie, and the Ima Fimba meet and had a move called Psionic Blast? This must be an error. Yeah, it's in the code for the game, but she doesn't actually ever use it. Tatsumaki, gonna take it. That's a lot of crits. That's a lot of crits. Yeah, the move is, like, not in the game, but, like, at one point, it seems like it was. Bloody Eye is 6 guts rate, yeah. No, I'm talking about the 9 guts rate for the... Oh, yeah, someone said something. Gotcha. When I was talking earlier, I was talking about Tatsumaki having a 9, which is crazy fast, and it's still being, like, way slower. Being 50% slower. Would have been cool to see a Monster Rancher 1 unique move in that I'm a Fimba meet. It'd be cool if they had, like, Dino in it. But then you have to make... you can't just have the monster and not have it be trainable, right? I guess you can. Oh, right. Big Grem's back. I really should have checked before I started the stream. Prediction is live. We got a monster from the More Monsters mod chillin'. Could be a Zoom question mark, I guess. Yeah, and it's not like all the Zooms have different models, so you could do that. I think I've seen this Jill variant before. It's because I made it up. It's part of the More Monsters mod community effort to add the 1,000 missing mixed breeds into the game. Basically, it's just saved over Jill Kato right now. If you download the mod, you can play with over 100 new monsters, and they're not just reskins. They like have the stats and the guts regeneration rate and the stat gains and all of that of what the actual mixed breed would be. And so this is a Kato Hopper. For all intents and purposes today, right now, it's just saved over Jill Kato, so I could test and edit and change things on the fly. But in the actual game, Jill Kato is still in the game. It's not saved over. But you can also play as Jill Hopper. So it just is extra stuff. Yeah, I made the card too, yeah. Okay, 63% on Big Grem. Jill was actually like a huge pain in the ass to get working. Definitely the one that took me the longest to make. Ooh, crit tail assault, rough. His dedication. I'll show you some of the other ones I've made after this. We're not gonna have time to play Monster Rancher 3 afterwards, so I'll just show off some of the other monsters I've made. In the years of watching it, it's the first time I ever seen you like lock in. Even the speedrun, you didn't make faces like that. I was definitely laser focused. Game number 3, here we go. Snowstorm opener, good damage. This guy with a big guts lead, though, hits the drill attack. It's not enough to kill. He's still chilling. Oh, but the thwack is going to take it. This guy here do the snowstorm. I should have a little Jill that pops up in the corner and does the snowstorm as like a transition. That would be sick. I've been thinking of making a new stinger. So maybe that's what we do. I just like fuck up everybody's bitrate every time. Because you can't have that many particles on the screen without Twitch taking a shit, but... I have old stingers that are still here. Here, let me see if I... Let's do this. That's technically to a new screen. Here, one sec. So that one was fun to make. I have one for low tier. I didn't even know I did. I fucking forgot about that. That's so funny. Oh my god. Okay, what else we got? Oh, this one's sick. Sound warning on this. This shit's loud as hell. Okay, no, this... Never mind. It doesn't work. I'll have to show that one off later. What's this? That's the classic, but it's too long. Got the Deluxe Cup one. Smart bet. The Zoom tourney. Yes, I got these. One sec. So I do have them. They're just, I changed folders. So I'd have to go find what folder they're in. They're there. They're just, it's linking to videos that don't exist. The freshman one is unfortunate that it's not working, because that one was sick. Go look up the Freshman Cup on YouTube. Freshman Cup Monster Rancher, if you want to see the transition I made. It's loud as hell. It's fucking crazy. Anyway. So, that goes to the Naga. Rambu, Commandu, and Dadbot up next. Dadbot has only fought this guy. He's only fought Soldier Gaboo. He's had to fight both of them. Alright, prediction is live. Who do you like? It's been a long time since I've like made something new and fun for the stream. But I'm gonna be real, a lot of it, like, it's felt like work to, like, make new stuff. And so I just, like, straight up haven't. The next thing I gotta do is, well, one, I gotta get YouTube chat working on screen. And then the second thing is I gotta change this layout to be the new DXBL logo that Macho made me. We're gonna be retiring the galley one for the second half of the tournament. Need assets? I have a ton. I think I'm okay. It's not really about needing the assets. 100% on Rambo. People saw Dadbod lose last time. They're like, we don't think he's got it in him. Glide charging, do a little bit of damage, but Rambo's got a huge guts lead. Ooh, big samurai kick, miss. Wow, 3 in a row. Dadbod with the life lead and guts lead. He's gonna win it on the crit tail attack. Holy moly. When will sign up for the second half start? Next Monday at the very latest. I might have it up tomorrow. But, you know, I got a lot of stuff going on. I want to make sure all the rules and stuff are set and in place, so I'm not trying to rush it. And then you'll have... That's it, right? That's 2-0? Yeah, I think, honestly, this week I'll have it up. Because I would like to give people, like, maybe, like, 3 weeks to make monsters. And so that's this week, next week, a week off, and then we get back into it. You get 3 weeks to make something. Dadbot, Doubters, and Shambles? Yeah, you guys lost all your... Well, I mean, nobody won anything, because not a single person... not a single person bet on him. Okay, Rise and Grind and Sir Static. It gets food. Okay, prediction is live. Dude, I was listening to a new band today, and by new band, I mean a band from 2002 that I just never heard before. And this has happened to me a lot lately, where I find one song, and I'm just like, this shit rocks. This is such a good song. Adding that shit to the workout playlist, love it. And then I listen to the album, and I'm like, this is embarrassingly bad. Like, what happened here, man? Who let you write more than one song? The lyrics, like, some of you may know, I might just be out of the loop, but the band was Glass Eater, and they're, like, kind of a post-hardcore, but mostly, like, I would say post-hardcore, from, like, 2002-ish, and I listened to what I assume is the single, because it's the one that's good, and I was just like, this is, like, actually really, really good. And then every other song is, like, a very literal, like, how come everyone is so mean to me type of, like, vibe. It's so pathetic. It's actually the funniest fucking band I've ever heard in my life. Everything is just, like, people make fun of me for being in a band and not making a lot of money, but I like doing it anyway. And, like, those are what the lyrics are. For like every song. It's fucking killing me, man. You don't gotta sing about that. It's okay. You can keep some of that shit to yourself. Or at least, like, you know, take a writing class and, like, learn what a metaphor is. Don't make me embarrassed to listen to your song. Those guys are like 45 years old now. They're probably feeling the same way. Anyway, the one song, killer, 10 out of 10. Medicine? I think it's called Medicine by Glass Eater. Good ass song. That's 2-0 for Rise and Grind, right? Rise and Grind, gonna take that. Metal Lamer and Sensui, our last match of round 2. Can't tell how many times that's happened to me. Practically have to tattoo the band name to my body like my mentor. I won't remember them without listening to them for a decade and a half. Even get into just like 5 songs. I almost wanted to make a Spotify playlist because I thought it'd be funny. And then I'm like, it's just mean and I don't really care that much. But it was just going to be like songs that, bands that have one good song and just like make a playlist of it. I guess I gotta call it Metal Lamer. I can't just type metal. Sensui no Hado. The thing about like post-hardcore and like the emo revival stuff too of like the early 2000s is that people are really like, most of it is like garbage, but people have like really strong attachment to it because, surprise surprise, what you listened to when you were 13 years old is something that is like, it's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. I'm like that. I don't hate Linkin Park's Meteora despite it being like probably like objectively a really bad album, because I bought it when I was 12 years old. But more than I would say like literally any other music fan I've ever talked to, people who are like really into like Cute Is What We Aim For and like that vibe of like the emo, it's not emo like the way that me as an old head thinks of emo, but like that type of like bordering pop punk type of shit. Though the fans of those bands are like so militant about like, how dare you say this is like made for 12-year-old girls. And I'm not saying that in a I'm not saying that in like a misogynist sense where it's like girls gotta listen to music too, but like it is like boys who are like 20 years old writing songs to attract 12-year-old girls, right? Like that's it. It's not for them in the sense of like only girls could like this, and since I'm better than a girl, I can't like it. It's that the song was written for a child to listen to. It's like predator bait is basically what it is. Neck Deep's like that too. Neck Deep are fucking weird, man. I don't know how they got the fans they got. All right, Metal Aimer. "20 Little Girls Can Beat a Gaboo." We do know that is like Sumire is better than boys, so I got my work cut out for me if I want to beat Sumire. She's already got me beat just like on a matchup level. Also, I love like tons of music that is like made specifically for girls. I think it like, I love girly pop. I love lots of like one-offs and like one-hit wonders from like the early 2000s that were like, I wouldn't say I'm like a Spice Girls fan or like a Britney Spears fan, but like there are groups from that era that like, you know, I like a couple of the songs. I love the Venga Boys. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we are on the third round. Fair Play and Robot Hot. But yeah, the bands where it's like the song is written to sound deep to a small child is like, I don't know, man. I think there are a lot of bands in that genre that are like, they're still melodramatic and like obnoxious and like, "You'll Never Understand Me, Dad," but they have a little bit more of a timeless quality to them, like a My Chemical Romance or something like that. Like it's more of just like a generic like love lost type of vibe that, you know, people have been singing about forever. It's not fucking Car Underwater by whoever wrote that song, where the chorus is literally, "I'm in a car underwater with time to kill." And then, what is it? Something about like, "What's worse is I would still die for you," or whatever. Like, fuck you, man. Like, what the fuck's wrong with your brain? Like, I'm 13 and this is deep type beat. Yeah, kinda. Like a lot of the Bare Naked Ladies songs. Bare Naked Ladies are a very embarrassing band. I love The Old Apartment. That's like a karaoke staple for me. That song is like incredible. If I had $1 million and, you know, 1 week are like the bane of my existence, but The Old Apartment is a fucking killer track. Welcome to the old apartment. 54% on Robot Hot. Here we go. Meteor is still a fun listen. Hit the Floor goes like really hard. Hit the Floor and Faint are like legitimately heavy tracks. Keep the one where he keeps getting the monkey mail. Is that the chimpanzee song? Never wanted a chimpanzee. They're like, they turned into, like a gimmick band. I guess they always were, kind of. The thing about Bare Naked Ladies, if you're not from Canada, like, they were like a really big deal here. But there was a scandal, and this is going to sound quaint in like 2025, but the scandal was Stephen Page, who was the singer with glasses, not the guy doing the fucking rap on 1 Week or the Big Bang Theory theme song, but the guy with the actual interesting voice, Stephen Page, the guy who sings The Old Apartment, got kicked out of the band because he got caught doing cocaine. Like, can you imagine fucking caring about that? Can you imagine pretending as one of the other band members that you weren't doing cocaine? Like, oh yeah, no, we can't condone this. Like, fuck you. I'll throw them under the bus, you fucking losers. You fucking nerds. What are you talking about? It's cocaine in the music industry. Pussy ass band. Yeah, get that Big Bang Theory money, man. It'll help you grow a dick. Loser ass behavior. Fair play money. Gotta win that one 2-1. Heroin was why Blur split. Heroin's a bigger deal than cocaine, I think. The thing that's like crazy about it is that it wasn't even like, he might have had a cocaine problem. Like, I'm not saying people don't have drug addiction. Like, that's an insane thing to like try and spin. But he got caught by the cops having it. That was the big deal, was that he got caught. And people love to see their heroes fall from grace. So, of course, you know, it was a big deal. If that shit happened now, people would be like, yeah, alright. And water is wet. You got Diddy parties and shit to worry about. Cocaine's not that big of a deal. Okay, predict. Oh, I accidentally closed the submission immediately. Prediction is live. Who do you guys like? Can't even be a little autistic without mouth breathers calling you Sheldon. Gotta hit them with the biggest bazinga they've ever heard in their life. In well, Flaming Lips documentary, one of the band members was doing heroin mid-interview about how heroin was ruining his life. Stephen Page deserved better, is all I'm saying. Girls' Night is such a fun monster. Girls' Night is sick, yeah. I know what Girls' Night... Everybody's betting on Mr. Sandman, though. But yeah, if you've only heard If I Had $1 Million and 1 Week and the Big Bang Theory song and the weird chimpanzee song, go listen to The Old Apartment. That's like an actual, like, masterfully made, masterfully written. The instrumentation in it is great. The production is great. Fantastic song. 1-2 punch. Dash slash miss. Rush slash hit. Into the hard straight. He's swanging. Got his ass. That's 2-0, right? Like the Christmas album? The only Christmas albums I ever had growing up where there was a Looney Tunes Christmas album, which I don't know why my parents let me play it as much as I did, but I thought it was so fucking funny. I I had a VeggieTales Christmas album and the Hanson Christmas album that they made. Hanson made a Christmas album the same year they put out their like Bop. They were killing it. Lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. When I am lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. The bridge of that song is so funny. It just like falls off a cliff. I had a dream. I was 10 feet tall. Good song. Okay, predictions live. Did you hear about the creator of VeggieTales stating the VeggieTales helped lead children towards heaven while they cannot enter themselves because they're only veggies? That's fucking funny. It's crazy because like he's obviously like believes, right? Like he is a man of very intense and devoted faith. But it seems like he's like on the right side of history for like a lot of like major things. Like every time he like comes up in the news, he's like telling some like right winger to like fuck off in like the nicest way possible. Thinking about my veggie stuck in purgatory. Larry the cucumber staring into a white void for millennia. He said they weren't made in God's image because they're shit out of luck. You don't know that though. They might be. I can't believe it's Christmas. Can't believe I'm getting something. 73% on Hinwood. Hit to heaven and God is a corn cob. It's all corn cobs. That was 300 pounds. I think it is 300 pounds, goat. I haven't heard this song in a long time. I was trying to do it from memory. I knew it was big in some way. Off topic, but has anyone else seen the video where Grover from Sesame Street has to climb a million steps? Yes! Yes, dude. That shit is so fucking funny, man. Oh my god, yeah, it's so good. The narration for it is crazy. Saw that last night for the first time. Oh my god, dude, it's so good. Alright, poor doggy. Goes 2-1. So that's a 3-0 Bajarl. Spotrick and Kimchi up next. Is this a Bajarl Surge night? I'm appalled, but I just can't stop laughing at the idea. And just watching you laugh is making my sides hurt. Dude, it's really funny. It's fucking crazy. It also just like keeps going. The video is like, I want to say like a minute longer than it needs to be. Like it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I get it, and then it just keeps going, and that makes it so much funnier. Are you still ranked up though? We can check. Okay, prediction is live. Spoiler, he doesn't kill God. There's also the VeggieTales clip that's going around that it's out of context, but like not really, but like kinda. Where they're talking about the Israelites, and then they say something about like, wasn't that God's chosen people? And they're like, yeah. And then they explain a little bit about the Bible story, and then one of the broccoli boy was like, oh, so I bet they've always done things that were like specifically holy and in God's name, and like they're the most pious of people. And then Bob the Tomato's like, you'd think so, but which is like kind of an insane poll in the year 2025. 82% on kimchi. Pretty cool you're keeping this game alive. 38, and you grew up playing this with a friend. Can remember the first time we got the Phoenix? Hell yeah. Yeah, dying in this game is like a universal bad feeling. Classic Bob, keeping it real. It's not as like heinous as it sounds. It's not a political commentary. Like in the stories in the Bible, the Israelites, like, you know, they forsake God for various reasons, and like God gets mad at them. Dude, the Amber Alert. The Amber Alert's crazy too, because it's the carrot girl. She like looks down or something. She's like, and then it just goes, Burr. It looks like she was saying it. And the guy with the stick yells at them on God's behalf, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a Bible man. Anyway, Spotrick barely winning that one. The guy with the stick yells at him. That's such a funny way to phrase it. Okay, Spotrick gonna win that one. So no full Bajarl Surge, but it's still a 2-1 for Kimchi. Sensui and Jamlord up next. After the stream, I'll show off the new monster I made, because I haven't shown it off in action yet. We're getting close to the end. I'm starting to remember most when Junior befriends the blueberry. Every time he lies, he like evolves into a slightly more grotesque monster. I've seen various episodes that were like my aunt had taped off of TV. My cousins were really religious, and my family was not. Prediction is live. Both of my parents' families were super religious, because, that's how Catholics be. But we like never went to church or anything like that. And as I was growing up, it became like obvious that they weren't gonna like disown me if I like was not a man of faith. And they like certainly didn't care if I didn't believe in God. I think my mom has more of a religious streak to her than my dad does. And I remember like loving VeggieTales back when I still fully believed in God, the Catholic, even though VeggieTales isn't Catholic, but and then as I got older, I'm like, it was so fucked up that like I watched this and like the indoctrination and this and that, and then I saw it again a couple episodes as an adult, and I'm like, this is like mostly just like nice videos for kids. Like it's wholesome. I get it. Like you can be weird about like, oh, all these bad things are done in the name of religion, but like it's mostly harmless. And if the kids are like already believe, then like it's not doing anything. Jel Durahan and Hanger Duckin. Stop believing in God at 9 years old because Pokemon weren't real? I didn't do no confirmation. I didn't do confirmation. I was baptized. But that's it. The chops. The whips. The suffocations. Put the goo in a bigger goo. Bigger goo wins. Jonah Was a Prophet is a banger song. My Name is Jonas was a bigger song. So, The thing is, like, VeggieTales was like, it was clever when it needed to be, and like it's a fine kid show. If you want to get like insane about it and be like, this show should not exist, like, why was this given airtime? You got shit like Seventh Heaven to be mad about. Seventh Heaven was a fucking miserable show. There's one episode where like they find weed and it's like as if like the world is gonna end. Seventh Heaven sucks, man. Jessica Biel though. So we'll give it a 5 out of 10. What happened to Jessica Biel? Okay, prediction is live. Then this dad in Seventh Heaven turned out to be a predator? I don't think so. He was on Always Sunny as well. He was the man that they that Dee and Dennis's mom like was dating. I'm not particularly religious, but one moment that almost made me feel out of religion was hearing high schooler that John the Baptist isn't a bear man who eats insects. And that was the thing that made me not stand not watching Digimon on Sundays. What the fuck are you... I don't know what you're saying. I'm sure what you said makes perfect sense. But, like, I don't know what's going on. Dad admitted to be a predator? Oh, my God. That's crazy. Hold on one sec. Stephen Collins. His nephew is Eve 6 frontman Max Collins. Oh my god. His nephew put his heart in a blender. Sexual abuse against minors. All right, this is a crazy early life. This what do you call it? The Wikipedia entries. We got early life, career, personal life, sexual abuse against minors. Oh no. And he played a guy named Agent Donald Nash. Let's get out of here. I don't like this. I need more degrees of separation. 75% on Lil Bugger. Let's not talk about the name in this context at all. Oh, he hits the rolling blow. Are there any major differences between console Monster Hunter 2 and the port to PC? I'm wondering if I should dig out my old memory card and get the last 2 monster unlocks. If you're not like playing the game a lot, like if you're not like, how do I say this? If you're not like super in tune with all the mechanics and all that stuff, you're playing casually, it's the same game. It's easier on the PlayStation 1 because the lifespans in this game are shorter because they use the original Japanese lifespans. Sunday schools had to make the story from Bible School for Children. Listen. Imagery of John the Baptist was like barbarian man with animal fur who eats insects and honey. Oh, that is sick. I'd probably worship Bear Man too. Bezos was like, cut the film? Oh no. Alright. They built a casino in the mall called Nash Casino. It's my casino. What of it? Little Bugger gonna win that one. 2-1. Big Grem and Rambo up next. The reason you would pick up it for the PC is one, like you want to support the game, or maybe you're interested in playing competitive or something at some point, or B, you want to like learn more about the game if you're like interested in learning more, because there are tools and things like that to like see hidden values. Like you can see your monster's stress and fatigue with like little add-on apps that we have. So if like you're interested in getting into the nitty-gritty, then the PC port gives you more options. But if you're just like playing casually and you're like almost done and you're just like, I just want to get the last 2 unlocks, just, you know, play it on PS1. It's fine. Predictions live. All I've ever seen of VeggieTales is the highlights and jokes. And there was one Sherlock Holmes one or something and kept doing this gag where they'd zoom into a doorknob and show a hand turning it and then cut back the wide angle shot with the normal veggies and one of them's freaking out. Yeah, because nobody knows what hands look like. Yeah, that was like a running joke in the show, is that like nobody had hands. And like sometimes like someone would become like cognizant of it and it would just like ruin their plan. Like whatever they were holding on to would just like fall and they're like, oh no, I can't carry this. I don't have hands. 86% on Big Grem. Here we go. Oh, gets the snowstorm. Alright, Big Graham gonna take it. Game 1. Game 2, here we go. Only 7 hands belong to God in that show? That sounds right. The veggies because their shapes were simple. And they are like the most holy of inanimate objects, I think. 999 chop combo? Holy moly. Next game, here we go. Solid Snake fighting a Tanuki magic powers is pretty on brand for the Metal Gear series. Kinda, yeah. With ice powers. Oh, the ninja kick. Poor guy. That panda gonna die. He's not really a panda, but you know what I mean. Okay. Commandu gets it. Prezioso and Alce up next. Okay, prediction is live. Who do you guys like? So I'm gonna clock. We're getting close to the end here. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 9 matches left, including this one. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I've had a lot of fun tonight. We talked about a lot of stuff. Some of it more pleasant than others, but all entertaining, I think. And then after this, I'll show off some of the monsters from the More Monsters mod. If you're interested in playing with the 1,000 monsters that are currently missing from the game, all the possible mixed breeds will be available at some point. You got over 100 in the mod right now. 73% on Alce. Here we go. Holy shit. All right. Well, Prezioso, that is such a big advantage for him because he's got a lot of... Okay, he died. He had a shot. 1-2 punch. Alright. 99 1-2 jump lows. Almost enough to kill. Jab will finish it. Goes for another 1-2 jump lows. It's just going to land. Another 800 damage. Next game. Here we go. I like how the sound effects don't line up with that. They're like, they lag behind. The Monster Farm line, and while I'm happy to see Arrowhead and Worm get representation, not too happy with how it's just another gacha game slapped onto it. Yeah, no, it's literally Uma Musume, if you've played that. It's the exact same game. But instead of races, you do monster battles. Will he win it? He needs one more jab. Oh, he swings it. 1 second left. The rolling blow. He takes it. Also, going to take that one 2-1. He gets it. Alright, curtain call in Hisoka. Yeah, it would be sick to see another Monster Rancher game. It's really funny how, and like, people were talking about this in Tangents chat. I am not a game dev by trade. I've worked on like stuff, little projects and things like that, but I'm not like a professional game dev. I'm not an expert on this. But the ideas that people throw around, prediction is loud by the way, about what should be in the new Monster Rancher game and what Koei Tecmo should add to make the game profitable are fucking insane. Like, I feel like I'm living on a different planet when I see some of the things that these people say, and it's not even like me being more in tune with what Monster Rancher is than a casual person is, and being unable to understand their point of view. I get why people say the things they do a lot of the time, but just like so many of the ideas are just like actually not even bad game ideas, but bad business ideas. And this idea that, like, if the game doesn't sell 400 million copies, that it's a failure is, like, insane. Just make a smaller budget Monster Rancher game. Have, like, I don't know, like 20, 30 people working on it. You could, like, easily put something together. You don't need a shit ton of models. You need maybe 40 models. And then you put skins on it. It is what it is, you know? Or I would say 40 skeletons, and then you can change the models however you want. We did the survey, which kind of feels like a kid making a sideshow presentation about why he should have a puppy. Yeah. Should be more like Skyrim. People want the game to be different than it is, and, like, I don't get it, man. 64% on Hisoka. If you think something about Monster Rancher needs to fundamentally change, what you're asking for is a different game. You're not asking for a Monster Rancher game, and I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand. If you're like, I want it to be an exploratory RPG, it's like, okay, you're asking for Pal World. Go play Pal World. Like, that game exists. Go play Legends Arceus or whatever. Those games exist. You need 2 3-0s to rank up, or just 1? 1 3-0 ranks you up. 2 2-1s ranks you up. Someone said Monster Rancher should be more like Uma Musume. I don't know how that's possible. Monster Rancher works because it's Monster Rancher. If you want things to change fundamentally about it, you don't like what the game is. And that's fine. But there are other games. Gulag and Root Beer up next. People talking about, like, yeah, have a battle pass or, like, unlock monsters over DLC, which is, like, unbelievably fucking stupid. But additionally, like, the games don't need to print money. If it's profitable, it's profitable. If they make their money back and then some, then that's, like, a big success. Prediction is live. Here you go. Need a sequel to Monster Rancher 4? Monster Rancher 4, but good, would, you know, that'd be an okay game. I've done that too. Portable games seem to be smaller projects and perfectly fine. The Monster Rancher Advance games are great. I can't imagine they spent much to, like, I don't know what their ROI on it was. But they're very, very cheaply made games. And they're good. I've been playing a lot of Advance at work when I'm bored. Great game. I've been playing it way more than, like, I haven't played Uma in, like, months. 54% on Root Beer. When you get Monster Rancher style that plays differently, maybe consider making it yourself. People always say that. They're like, I'm going to make a Monster Rancher style game. And it's like, all right, man. And then what it is not Monster Rancher at all, but it's got Monster Rancher ideas. And that's fine. Like, that's exactly what you should do. But making the game, I don't know. All it needs is to be as profitable. Only exists in the indie space. No, I know. I get it, Anstor. I'm not like oblivious to that. But I also think a company like KT makes a lot of games that are, like, quick and dirty. Like, there's a lot of games they put out that are you can tell did not have, like, extremely long dev time, did not, like, have a huge team or budget behind it. Just, like, AA games. Monster Rancher could be, like, a pretty good AA game, I think. It's, like, perfect for that. Monster Rancher Lion training montages reminding Monster Rancher ones, but bad. They do have a little bit less personality. I like a lot of the aesthetics of Monster Farm Lion. But there's some stuff in it that, I mean, the overall gameplay is something I'm not really interested in. Gulag, my boy, you gotta dodge. 30 seconds on the clock for him to win it. Is he gonna? There you go, Macho. Your words of wisdom. Words of wisdom from your tyrant mouth. You guys listen to Bravery? Words words are wisdom. That's like a type of voice I can't do quietly. I have to like belt it. I'm a big fan of just doing musical references that not a single person in chat knows. If I had like 10,000 viewers, maybe like 2 or 3 of them would get it. But with 70 or like 110 across the 2 platforms, it's not happening. It's fine. Don't think I played for more than a week. I played a decent amount. And then I was like, this is not for me. I'm done. Prediction is live. See what they're going for? It's kind of cheap and soulless. Monster Ranch or Monster Farm Line's biggest thing is that it is on that unlimited money mindset, i.e. every new monster is a girl. Like, instead of just making Pixie the de facto monster girl and then every combination with Pixie being like a different variation of a monster girl, they're like, no, we need like 9 more monster girls. The Gooner monsters and the crossover shit. Yeah, the crossover shit sucks. I do not want to play as the fucking Titan from Attack on Titan in my Monster Rancher game. Luckily, I can avoid it. You choose the buttons you press. But it looks so stupid, man. Soulless isn't one of them. I think Soulless is one of them. I think that's probably the biggest knock against it. I don't think you can have a game with that many crossovers and think it has any sort of actual artistic merit. Like the fucking kid from Shaman King, like not even a monster they made for the game. They just put the fucking pro tag in the game. Like, let's be real. Like, that's not soulless. That is like definitionally soulless. Shaman King crossover was the most heinous. I mean, that and the Attack on Titan. They were just like straight up characters from the shows. The big maximal punch. When I add purchasable collab to a game we'll never actually make, you buy it, you get banned. Psych. Alright, game number 3. Here we go. I love Melkarba, man. What a cool monster. Holy fuck. Okay. I'm sorry I cursed him. Nettle is going to take that. Mono's a cool monster, too. Heavy Whale and Rise and Grind up next. Were the studios that made the anime the same? No. I don't think so. The Duel Masters one is like kind of interesting to me because is Duel Masters still around or did it die out? Because if it died out, I think that's kind of interesting because it's 2 games from the same era, 2 animes from the same era. I know it went on much longer than Monster Rancher did, but I don't know if it's like still like a big thing now. It's alive in Japan still? Okay. That's cool though. Okay, prediction is live. Them making a special mono that's just a deck of Duel Masters cards is pretty cool. I think that's a good crossover. That feels like a Monster Rancher 2 special breed. Around here immediately knows Vanguard is a Duel Masters clone. Is it like the same game? I remember playing Duel Masters on stream a couple of months ago and getting so bored immediately because like on the PS2 version of the game just has like the base set cards, right? And the base set cards are very like Yu-Gi-Oh from like Metal Raiders type vibes where like there's no real like interesting interactions. It's just like get a boss monster on the field and win because you got a boss monster. Some friends who play Vanguard. It looks like a shit game. And it's no Monster Rancher battle card. That's all I'm saying. That shield part of the cards was pretty cool, and each being mana was neat. It's not the same since Vanguard clearly have Yu-Gi-Oh! DNA, no resource system for summons, but the shield system is copied so often. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Big Death Thrust. Big Death Thrust. Rise and Grind gonna take it. So I don't know what like modern Duel Masters looks like, but the PS2 version of the game, it's just like, this is a big vanilla monster. This is another big vanilla monster. This is a big vanilla monster that breaks 2 shields. It's the best card in the game. Oh man. 2 Fluid, 2 Fist, and Okani Jr. Yeah, it's somewhere. That was like almost a year ago now. I don't know how long I played it. Oh yeah, also Project L. I want to talk to you. I guess I can mention this on stream, but I want to do a sort of like Moose Bones Classic thing, like a take on like the ESPN Classic, where they like play old like the 1973 Super Bowl or whatever on like a Tuesday afternoon or whatever. I have so many VODs that would make good videos. Prediction is live in the backlog from like years ago that just I'm never ever gonna make. So I might task Project L with putting out like 2 a month. It'd be really funny to see stuff from like 4 years ago. He edited together a Digimon Battle Cards video that I don't know where the second half of the video is. And it's not that his fault, it's that I think I didn't save the second bit of it. So second half of the stream is just lost to the sands of time. And it's just sitting in a folder. It's there, it's done, but I don't think I can release it because there's nothing else. Okani Jr. Here we go. But like other stuff, like we might be able to make a video out of, what do you call it? Like Magic Pendule, things like that. Magic Pendule was really funny. Couldn't hear me? Oh, I was saying I want to release a bunch of old VODs from like years ago and just like clear out the backlog. Like start with like Magic Pendule or something, and because there's a lot of good stuff in that. Second half of the stream is killed by Toy Agumon Preservation Org. Oh no. Needing help with that? Yeah, so I was saying I want to get up like maybe like 2 VODs a month of just like old shit and just like, you know, interesting VODs. If you look at something and you're like, I can't really make this cool, like that's fine, we'll just dump it. I trust that you know what works and what doesn't. Wii Spinning and Metal Lamer. But I've been trying to think of stuff to do for Patreon and YouTube membership members. And I think that's my idea, is I want to release all the old VODs. And then, like, a couple of weeks later, they'll become live on YouTube. I think it'd be really funny. Really cool to look back on, like, some of the old stuff. Even just, like, my original Monster Rancher 4 playthrough and then my new Monster Rancher 4 playthrough. My new Monster Rancher 4 playthrough probably won't be part of that. It would probably be something we'd just upload. %97% on Metal Lamer. Here we go. Oh, the big spinning claw. Another weapon throw. Twist a kick. Big damage. Ooh, big damage on the spin slash. Here we go. Oh, the weapon. Love to watch Digimon Digital Card Battle VODs. It sucks that I don't have the whole thing, but I might just upload the first half and just have a little disclaimer. I think I'm going to do like an introduction for each of the videos. It would be like, hey, here's a thing I recorded on like whatever day in the past. And then I explain like if there's an issue or whatever. Because it was really funny. It was a really good stream. A lot of me being like, I'm gonna go like real ham right here for no reason, and then like what could possibly happen, and then my opponent like top decks like the one card that could possibly disrupt my plan. That happened a lot. Okay, prediction is live. But yeah, I've wanted to like give a little bit more value to people who are subbed and doing the YouTube memberships. I appreciate everything, you know, everybody's done to help me out up until this point, but it's been tough for me because I can't release like Rancher rundowns early there. It's too much work and it's too much of a burden financially to not release them onto YouTube. Like, even if they don't make a lot of money right off the hop, if they like made no money for the first month, it makes like a huge difference. And then after a month or so, I would put them up, or 2 months or whatever. I'd have some sort of lead time. 83% on El Tigre Loco. Chop combo. Giant whip. Big damage. Oh, power jumping chop? El Tigre Loco is going to take game 1. So close to dying so many times for this Kaboo. If he's all the power? Yeah, he's got all the power. You guys still talking about Vanguard? That's crazy. Also, look at my fucking sweat. That's crazy. There's none on this side. It's because I got the fan on this side. I should move the fan to the other side. I got one sweaty pit. El Tigre Loco gonna take that 2-1. Very quick matches. Alright, we are on our last match of the night. We got Bat and Bug and Dad Bod. Also, it's like my YouTube memberships are like, my Patreon memberships are very stable. My YouTube memberships go up and down like a crazy amount. Like, prediction is live. It's like a busy a month on Patreon if I get like +2 like patrons or like -1 patrons. That's like, oh, that's like noticeable. On YouTube, it's like plus minus like 30 people every month. It's just like it's all over the place. So giving them something to like hang on to. If you like aren't a member of any of that, there's 3 tiers. There's the Mochi tier, which is just you get access to like posts when I'm like gonna like whatever, like whenever I do like a little like here's a little work in progress or whatever. And then there's the Golem tier, which is you get to see everything I'm working on when I post it, which that's going to be the tier that gets access to the VODs. And then there's the Zilla tier, which is that, plus you get your name in the credits on every Rancher rundown. which may or may not be worth it for you. 96% on Dad Bod. Zilla tier, you're double Zilla tiered up. Tail attack, big damage. Dad Bod gonna take it. Alright, Dad Bod looking to close out this tournament quick. Spiral Rush, big damage. A tail swing? Oh. Not there. Not yet. Gotta renew your YouTube Zilla. You don't need to, GOAT. Like, I appreciate it, but I think one Zilla tier is enough. Ooh, big miss. Another tail whip. Dad Bod gonna take it. Look at that. Dad Bod gets it. Alright, so the Moo gets a win. That's what, 2 wins for the Moo? Alright, let's take a look at the standings real quick. I don't, it kills the game audio, that's fine. But we got Fair Play by Stark with a 3-0, Girls Night by Macho Cheese with a 3-0, Spotrick by Pyro with a 3-0, Kid Muscle by Mr. Dan 3-0, and then we got all of our 2-1s, all of our 1-2s, and then Sir Static. Rough night for him. Prezioso 0-3? Damn. He had some really good matches. Big Graham 0-3. I think I cursed him. My bad. And Sensui. Alright, these are going to be fed into the standings. And we got one more. We got uno mas, and then we're done with this first set of the DXBL 4. Before we leave, because we talked about it, let's take a look at some of the monsters I made. So here is Gel Durahan. I made this guy last week on stream. Pretty happy with how he turned out.
Gazpacho soup is here.
Whee! I'm gonna do a little flip. This next batch is incredible so far. Yeah, there's, dude, the Beaklon that Hyena made is like fucking crazy, dude. That shit looks so good. That, and I think the, what do you call it? The Lava Blood, the Naga Dragon are like just like objectively like the strongest designs. Lava Blood because it's just like, it's like technically very proficient in a way that a lot of them aren't, including mine. Like, there's like a very like strong artistic hand. That where mine is like, I went and I Google searched armor. Like, I think this is like looks good. Like, I'm really happy with how this turned out. But there's a very different like gap in the skill. And then the other one, the Beaklon Metal Nerd that Hyena made is fucking crazy, dude. Shout out, worked for 3 days and stayed up super late on the Beaklon. The thing is that it's really easy to get absorbed in it. Like, I think the hanger that I'm about to show took me like 15 hours. If not a little bit more. And a lot of it is just like adjusting shadows and stuff. Like, you shadow it and then you're like, okay, what if I change it like 1%? What if I change it like 1 more percent? And you just like keep going like bit by bit by bit. And I'm sure you like know this as well from working on it, right? How, you know, where you're like, okay, well the actual concept and like throwing stuff together, not too bad. Getting stuff to line up, getting things to like mesh properly is like the bulk of the work. Okay, so Apep by Cujo. Is an A quality monster, B-Clone, and Naga, or SSR? Yeah, for sure. I'm happy with how this guy turned out. Beep boop. We got ourselves a little guy. And like, this is just how Hanger is. Like, shit clips through his face. Monster Rancher 2 modding is 10% inspiration, 90% moving shit up and down by a few pixels till it lines up, 100%. There's a couple of like little things on him that are, I think, like pretty solid in terms of making it seem more like a toy. Like this is Hanger Duckin'. Like, and so I gave him like little ball joints here on his legs. This took forever to line up. So it's set up in a way so like if he was to like move up and down, like you could like position the legs. I think this looks pretty good. Getting the shadows to line up properly so it's like shadowed underneath and like light on top, highlighted on top, took like 100 years. And on my deathbed I'm gonna be like mad that I spent so much time working on it. One of the little key details is that there's like plastic molding on all the like the round sections of his body. So if you take a look at his legs, you can see like I made a little seam here, which is like took more time than I would like to admit to make it look nice. But basically what I did to make the seam look good is I took like a 2-pixel brush and I just did a straight line of dodging the highlights, and then I took a 2-pixel brush beside it and I did a straight line of burning the highlights, and then I took a 4-pixel brush and I blurred that line. And so there's a lot of work for like I think 99% of people aren't even gonna notice, but I think it looks really good in terms of like making it look like a plastic piece that was like molded together, like adding a seam. How's the naming the new monsters? I mean, it's just whatever you come up with. I'd just call this guy Toy Robot. I think that's fine. His gear feet are like not perfect. Like you can see here, there's a little gap because it's actually conical. Like one face is a cone and one face is flat, so there's a tiny gap, but it's so small that you never see this on the ranch or in battle. You only see it if you're looking at it directly from this angle. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But yeah, the gear spurs I think look really good. The gear eye looks really good. It's weird because it's see-through from the side, like it's transparent in the hole, but on the back it's like it's got the eye cone. I needed to leave the eye cone because I couldn't make the gear. I couldn't give him a gear on the back. So if I got rid of the cone here, it would just be nothing. It would just be like there'd be nothing there, which I think looks a lot worse than just the way it's set up right now. His hands are little gears too. The sword is blue and red, and technically yellow as well, but you can't really see the yellow, so it's like a blue to red gradient. Japanese name for Hanger Duckin' in Monster Hunter Advance is Toinger. That's awful. I think Toy Robot's better. And then he has a little stamp here. It says Hanger, Mark 33. 33 Duckin' is the 33rd monster in the list. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Is sword part of the battle texture? Yeah. And then there's the fist missile, which is part... Well, sorry, fist missile is part of the battle texture. The sword is actually right here. You can kind of see it. The sword and the cutter. They stick out of the side a little bit. Normally this is hidden by a bigger texture, but I thought the gear looked fine as is. This like little red thing. Yeah. That's the sword and the cutter. Unfortunate part is that it's the same texture for all of the inside. So while this is fine for most of it, I don't really like that it's like yellow here with red on the inside. But that's me being very picky. I think it looks okay. I think the stamp turned out really good. It looks really legit. But yeah, the fist missile is just blue and white, like his hand is here. Twinger, I barely know her. Also miss the small form hangers that hang out in Monster Rancher 1. They hang out here too. Like this. I think when you see them in action and like they look good, you know you've made a good mod. I'm happy with how he looks. I don't think every design is going to be like completely 10 out of 10, because every design in the game, as the base game, isn't going to be a complete 10 out of 10. This is as closest to a 10 as I could get it. But there's a lot of textures in the game that are just like kind of goofy looking. Small form has persisted throughout the series, yeah. Oh, he's just walking away. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it looks good. The sections are separated, the yellows and the blues and the white. Everything has its own like area of the body. It doesn't look mismatched or anything like that. What's another one? Let's show off some more. I'll show off the plant again. You guys saw the Tanuki, so I don't need to show that one off. That looks like a robot toy. Thank you. That was the idea. Isam. Okay, I think I still have Plant Dragon on. Plant is my favorite of yours. Thank you. Yeah, I think that one turned out pretty good. That took about as much time as this one did. All I can do, I can't convince everybody to like put 110% into all their monsters, right? All I can do is put 110% into mine. And other people are making better ones than mine, so I feel like, you know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun to work on. Plant is not really that difficult. The hardest thing for me was to get the transparency on the wings to look as good as they do. And they're still a little jagged, but like, what are you gonna do? You got these leaves that have like tongues and teeth on them. You got a secret eye. Look at that. There's an eye for when he smiles. Woo! And he's got fucked up chapped lips, because I thought that would be funny. His tendrils down here are like weird and kind of scaly, but they kind of look like crusty. Yeah, I like how this one turned out a lot. Hydra would be an appropriate name. Hydra is what I came up with originally. But Hydras are all like water-based. And so like Hydra was my first naming choice, but I went with Mandragora because I felt like that's fine. And Hydra can be used elsewhere. They're trying to design for cross between some of my sister's favorite mons and Monol and Ogio. Monol is like surprisingly tough to design for. It's easy to just make something a rectangle, but it's hard to make something that like is interesting in a rectangle, you know? Legitimately have not been made the B-Clone Melner if I didn't sit around and brainstorm while watching you work on the mod. Played a big part in my participation. Cool. And it fucking rocks, dude. That shit is sick. So I'm happy I was part of that. Hydra would be a good name for Illumin subbreed of plant. I think it would, Plant Undine being Hydra would be fine. Did a bracket which of my guys do you think I'd enter? Of like all of the made up ones of like the more monsters. It's funny because like a couple of them, and like Coral Colony's like that too, right? Where it's like its stat gains are like piss. Like, they're so fucking bad. Nighton Duckin is really, really awful statistically. I think Nighton Duckin is my weakest of all the ones I made, but it's also the first one I made, so you know, it is what it is. I think it's a fine idea. It's the best I could do at the time, and right now, if I wanted to revisit it, I don't think I could make it better. So it is what it is. Can you add battle textures like flame component to Toxic Nectar? Brother, I'm ahead of you already. Let's, I guess I can show you. Here, let me pull up Cheat Engine. My, hold on. Cheat Engine is like crashing on me. What the fuck is it doing? What software do you use it? I put out a video for it. It's on my channel. It's the last video I uploaded. It's step-by-step process on how to download the tools to make it happen and everything, all the steps you gotta take. Because everyone's allowed to work on this. This is not like my project. It's not anybody's, well, it's Dave's project. But everybody's allowed to make their own stuff. Okay, stats, let's just get 200 and everything. And then I make my loyalty 100 so I don't miss anything. Okay. Let's go get Seed Gun. What software do you use? I guess it's the same question. It's there's a tool that Dave made specifically. So I got Seed Gun. It looks pretty strong. Now let's give it the other one. You see Naga and Dean having Fishman kind of vibe? I think that'd be sick. There's a Naga Undine they made for... Or, sorry, there's a Naga called Leviathan that they made for Line, and everyone thought it was going to be an Undine sub because it also had, like, high intelligence gains, but then it was just... happened to be a blue fish-looking Naga that was just a special subbreed. So time and talent should do 8 plus hanger. A thing that I think is pretty cool about Monster Rancher 2 subbreeds, and I didn't really realize it till I started working on this. Monster Rancher 4 subbreeds have always kind of like irked me, and I couldn't figure out why. And it's because Monster Rancher subbreeds and like the combinations in 4 are very, very standardized. If you look at everything in this game that combines with Hanger, Techno Dragon, Melkarba, the Raki, whose name I forget, they all read Hanger, especially the Raki one, right? But it's all like slightly different shades of the brown. The combinations are different. They have like different things that are highlighted. Techno Dragon has like translucent green spikes on like the back of his head and stuff, which is like a nod to Hanger's sword. Melkarba is more like fist missile based. It's a bunch of like arms made into a robot, and that shit is like really cool. And in 4, they just took the exact same like texture map. Renacraft, another one. They took the exact same texture map and put it on every single hanger subbreed. It's literally the same. As much as I like this plant dragon, I think if everybody who makes dragon does what I did here, like a subbreed for dragon, it's not going to look great. I think you can get really creative with it, which is why I really like the lava blood, the Naga dragon, which it reads dragon, but it doesn't look like this. Gobi has a cool brass texture. Yeah, exactly. Everything in Monster Rancher 4 that mixes with hanger, for example, is kind of like rounded off, and it's like a round robot, and it's the same shade of brown with the same like black lines on it everywhere, and I don't know, it's just, it's not interesting. There's no personality to it. Golem Color Pandora. All the Color Pandora subs in that game are just, let's add Color Pandoras to the thing. Can't unsee his lovingly modeled butt cheeks. He's got the round butt cheeks, yeah. I gotta take a look at Gobi, because I think if his eye is its own model, like if the eye sticks out and it's not just a flat texture, I think it sticks out a little bit. I think that's the perfect head for a duck and subbreed. Because you can make the little eye periscope thing into a beak, like, super easily. And so you'd have the little round head with the beak, and then he already kind of looks like a toy. He's all rounded off. So kind of the same thing I was doing with the hanger, I think you could do for Duckin', for Golem Duckin'. And that's part of, like, the FOMO I'm talking about. I don't want someone else to just, like, make a Golem Duckin' that's just like, I made Golem and he's red and blue and white. I made his hands blue and his legs red and his chest yellow, and I'm sending it in. And it's like, because I'm going to feel bad because I'm like, that shit sucks, and I'm going to make something better. Also, I like the card for this one, too. Just chilling in a volcano. Born to love volcanoes. Seen him on PBS. You guys know the Dead Milkman? I'm making these references today. No one's saying anything. You guys don't know the references. It's okay. Alright, you guys want to see some fireballs? Who needs seeds? You got fireballs, baby. Wasn't there a rule? No, there's no rule like that. Like, Dave's not trying to, like, make anyone feel bad. But I think the community will be like, alright, let's fucking do something about this. Ran over my neighbor's bitchin'... You ran over your neighbor's bitchin' Camaro, or you ran over your neighbor's in a bitchin' Camaro? We're gonna go down to the shore. I forgot how funny the intro to that is. I think I appreciate the intro more as an adult than I did as a kid. Bitchin' Camaro, I ran over my neighbors. Sad I'm not raising a big lizard. I got one in my backyard, it's okay. Dead Milkman got a lot of good songs. I'll do some more seed gatlings. Show it off. Does it have hot tea? No, we only have it iced. Now you're gonna jump up on the table and shout anarchy. And then someone's gonna play a Beach Boys song on the jukebox. It was California Dreamin', so he started screaming on such a winter's day. It can talk, it says say no, and that's it. I think it's important to make things that people will want to use. That's the mentality I have, at least. I want things that are gonna look like they exist in the game. And people are going to be like, oh, that's sick. I want to use that. Or conversely, they have some sort of reaction to it where they're like, what the fuck? Like, but like any reaction other than this looks lazy. Some there definitely paint the monster. A couple of mine are definitely guilty of that. If that's the case, there's room for replacement and room for alternates. Durahan Duckin looks sick, man. I really like that. The Durahan Duckin Zon Duckin is like one of my absolute favorite monsters, like in the franchise. And he's got very similar vibes. Have I ever heard Maggots the album? I think so. I haven't listened to Wendy O in a really long time. Like, probably not since high school. Somehow made Durahan's sword into a ducking head and neck? No, but he did make it look like a big pigeon, kinda. It looks great. Custom design monster that looks like it exists in the game? I mean, I think that's what I accomplished here. Centaur Gaboo? It exists. Both of them exist, both ways. I think Dave made both of them. The Gaboo Centaur is just called Amon, which is from Monster Rancher or Monster Farm line, but there's not much you can do with that. He's just green. He's green and then kind of green, like a different kind of green underneath, which is fine. Like, it looks okay. I don't know what else you would do. Like, it's maybe the closest to, like, this is a straight up recolor that is like, yeah, that's okay though, and that I think is in the game. There's a couple like that. Centaur Gaboo is just goofy. I'm probably not going to make a Gaboo sub, and it's a combination of, like, I don't think it's interesting, and also, like, I don't know. I don't... As much as I think some of the Gaboo subs look kind of shitty, like, in all honesty, I also don't know what you would do to make them look good. I think you have to do what you did with Joker, where some of Joker's theming is clowns. Shut up, you. Some of Joker's theming is clowns, and some of Joker's theming is, like, death. And they both read as Joker. They're both fine. But Gaboo, I think you would need to take the idea that Quill had, or not Quill, sorry, Golden Experience had, and adjust it a little bit so it's not so anachronistic. Because the Macho Man Galley, obviously that's not going to be like a base monster in the game because it's a reference to a thing that exists like in the real world. That's very much a question mark monster, right? Waifu honey time for all the Gaboo subs, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, a honey theme could be okay, or something like that, right? Like, if you do something that is, you can make some of them look goofy and muddy, right? But, or like Hanawas or something, yeah. Are we gonna have Dogus? Is that what we do? We turn everything into a Dogu? I guess that's kind of what Bajarl does already, though. But Jarl already kind of turned stuff into Dogus. We don't need to do more. Because Bajarl itself is a genie, but its design is very much like, you know, the Clay Dogu design. The eyes, the patterns. But, like, I think the idea of, like, a wrestler theme is, like, kind of okay. It's just you'd have to go about it in a way that I don't have the artistic ability to, like, elucidate on what I'm talking about. I couldn't, like, draw you it and have it make sense. Make a Gaboo Pixie and give him lipstick? You're gonna love this mod. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, let's put the game audio back on. The white trash Gaboo is so funny. Yeah, Honey Gaboo is what we gotta call it. I already have a monster. I literally named a monster that, but I don't know. You can't. I don't think the reference is good. I think leaving it as a name is funny. Gaboo and a Rey Mysterio mask. Again, brother, you're gonna love the mod. We already have Lucha Gaboo. We already have Gaboo Pixie. Gaboo Bajarl is like a Lucha Gaboo. It's fucking sick. Those two Gaboos on the Discord, they're both amazing. Missing the Tooth was a 10 out of 10 touch. It's actually great. They're actually very, very good. That was going to be your first mod, but since someone already did, I went with 8 Pixie. Yours looks great too, Project L. Yours is great. Nipples Gaboo Monk is incredible too. Yeah. Monk is kind of a weird one. But yeah, that one was really good. Gel Gaboo, give it ridiculous abs. It's just regular. Gel already kind of has abs. Just give it abs all over its body. You got to use the strong bad ab. What is it? The Abinator or whatever. Where it's just like abs the whole way down the chest, like even on the pecs. He's got abs. Gel on Tren. The Aber 2000, thank you, yes. Dude, yeah, it's sick. I'm having so much fun with this. I really do have to like stop myself from like putting more time into it right now because I got to get the Rancher Rundown done. And it's really hard to not just be that guy who's like, I'm making a million of these. I'm starting to draw a calculator that says salad on your chest. That's true, you could do that too. Alright. I'm gonna raid somebody. I'm getting sleepy. I'm still here. I'm still here, sincere, after all these fucking years. Where did you go? You guys like H2O? That's like, I'm like 0 for 3 on my music references today. That's fine. Let's raid. We're going to be playing some Monster Rancher 3 tomorrow. Take a break from making monsters to raise some monsters. Everybody's streaming right now. All the homies. Let's go say hi to Hot Dad. Thank you guys. Hope you had a great night. It was a really fun tournament. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go sleep. I got to get up super early tomorrow, and then we'll be back playing some Monster Rancher 3. I think I'm going to be raising an Octopi. And we'll talk about the mod some more and all that fun stuff. Goodbye. Good night.